Father, the sleeper has awakened!
What's up, YouTube? I need my little forward thing so I know where I'm looking. Where's the fucking camera? Right there. All right, what's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC in an undisclosed location, namely work. I'm having to do this on my phone today because it's been a hell of a couple of days, you guys. I still got one more day left of this on call. 4 days on call shit. And I can tell you right now, it's really cramping my style. Really cramping my style. I know Grinch just went live, which is going to draw off, which is going to irritate me because I wanted to see what Grinch had to say. I did. Thank you guys for coming through. I am Artisan MC. This is Shop Talk Live, as it were. And this is the rescheduled show, like I did. Salute, Malika. What's good? Yeah, I'm expecting people to be late on it because I didn't think I was going to make the 5 o'clock time. So instead, I went ahead and rescheduled it for 7. So people might have been checked out already. It's 8 o'clock. They might be eating dinner, doing whatever the fuck they're doing. But I still wanted to give you guys a show so I can talk about what the hell I wanted to talk about. And the only thing that's not cooperating right now is my tablet. Technology, dude. Technology. If you can hear me, Malika, put a 1 in the chat so I'll make sure that everything is hooked up correctly. I think this is only the second time I stream from this phone, so I want to make sure it's alert. I'll try to keep from bumping this table and shaking you guys all over the place, but it is not exactly put together firmly. Okay, good. You can hear me? Good. It's not exactly put together at my standards because it's too rickety. As you see, as soon as the table moves a little bit, it's shaking, which means somebody don't know how to tighten fucking screws, which is irritating in the least. Oh, now it finally came up. I had a good intro ready to play for you guys, and it wouldn't come through. So now it's just totally fucking wasted. Just don't know sometimes, man. I just do not know. Can I even do screen share on this? Let's see. 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Let me see if actually screen share from my tablet onto StreamYard. Never been tried, but everything has never been tried until you try it. So let's see. Not the most optimal of conditions, but I wasn't going to be able to drive in half an hour to get back home to do that. Let's log in. God damn it. I hate being. What's good, Aqua Techie? It's been a long day, you guys. It's been a really long, tiring day, and In about another hour, I expect this work phone to go off again with more fires to put out. It's going to take forever. And if you notice or not, I am starting to run down. My batteries are starting to run down right now. So the stream might be short, impactful, but short because I got to go back home and get some sleep before somebody else try to call me again, or I'll be here sleeping at work. So what you see in the background is our break room. 1 second. I got this login that I need. Appreciate you, no one. I don't have the Cash App up right now, so 1 second, you guys. I'm trying to use 2 separate devices to do this. I think I just need to buy a laptop. I think that will be the takeaway from this long 4-day shift, is that with the money I make off of this 4-day shift, I'm going to go buy a laptop. So I have a laptop with me in case I have to stream from somewhere else. And I guess I'll just write it off on my taxes as a business expense. Because that's where we're at right now, aren't we? Okay, I'm in the StreamYard. Got multiple StreamYards open, don't need that. So close one of these. What the fuck? Respond. Oh my God, dude. Technology sometimes can be fucking stupid. So goddamn slow. I think way too fast for most of this stuff. Way too fast. See, this thing is going to old shit. Old shit. Which was the last time I used it. When I went to Pismo Beach. Fucking hell, dude. Come on and respond. Jesus. So appreciate you guys' patience while this thing is not cooperating with me. Tried to close that window. Wouldn't close. Not closing. Close, fucker. Close. Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. Jeff Bezos and these dudes that own YouTube need to get their shit together and communicate so your services can communicate better. This is fucking stupid. 1 second, you guys. There you go. I'm like Kevin Samuels. I have to go fix this lighting situation because it was getting too dark in here. Log me out. Some days. This is what I tell you guys right now. This is what the last 3 days have been like. Simple shit that should just work fine, be done with. And all I keep dealing with is other shit that other folks did not correctly. So now I have to fix it. And there's a term we use, or I use in construction, that I picked up from my cousin in construction. So if I hear anybody repeat this shit, you better give him his fucking credit. because he is a 30+ year carpenter from a family of carpenters. You know what the hell he's talking about. And his response to this shit was always think about the next guy in. Don't do a shitty job on something because you don't care. And then have to have somebody else come back and actually fix it. Think about the guy that comes behind you, because sometimes you can be that damn guy. And you'd hate to have to go in there and start fixing a bunch of somebody else's fuck ups. That's the hell I did all day today. That's all I did all day today. Why? Because some motherfuckers have the work ethic of a fucking bumblebee. Hit one plant, move on, hit the next one. When they need that code of a samurai, which is you get into something and you do it to some perfection and get the shit done. Don't sit there and half-ass it and then pass it on to the next person in line because you just don't feel like dealing with it anymore. Fuck you. That's some bullshit. That's what happened. I got to take care of other people's fuck ups and fix it and make the customers and residents happy. But not because it was something I did, it's something that I had to correct somebody else did. So I became the next guy in who had to deal with that shit. Okay. So much for all this beautiful intro stuff I had set up. I think this is the problem with streaming through my phone. Only so many things can go on at one time. So if the signal is choppy, you guys let me know so I know what's going on with it. That applies to life too, thinking about the next generation. Exactly, Swift. That's exactly what applies to life. It's not always about fucking you. After a certain age, it's no longer about you anyway. It's not. Once you have kids, it's no longer about you. And if you don't have kids after 30, it's not supposed to be about you, motherfucker. So like Kevin will point out many a time, the world is not set up to take care of single people. No, it's not. You need to have somebody to look after you and wipe your fucking ass. If you ain't got that person, you're gonna be up short. Because nursing homes is full for a fucking reason. Everybody gonna need somebody. If you think you're just gonna be some autonomous party out here and be totally all right by yourself, think about the day you slip and break your hip in the house by yourself. Who's gonna find you? Who's going to call the ambulance? One of the saddest stories I heard was one of my new coworkers. She is upwards, maybe close to 300 pounds, right? And see if this works okay. Got myself in the background. She's upwards of about 300 pounds, right? And she told me a story about how she had. Hold on a second before we get a bunch of fucking feet. There we go. She has some knee and some hip problems, right? Because she weighty. And she got down on her floor thinking she could fix something under her seat because she used to be a tech. Okay. So what happened? She couldn't get the fuck up. She couldn't get off the fucking floor. She didn't have the arm strength to pick herself up off the floor sitting on her ass. And she can't bend her knees. So she was stuck for hours till her husband finally came home and was able to get her off the floor. And as she describes it, she felt so fucking helpless because all she could do was sprawl out on the fucking floor. That's it. She couldn't do anything. She was stuck. And to her words, what she said was she was grateful that she had a husband because otherwise she would have just been stuck there. Now, she had sat on the floor so long she had to go to the bathroom. But you know what happened? She couldn't go to the bathroom because she was stuck on the floor. So what did you think she had to do? What do you think she had to do stuck on the floor for all that time? Pissed herself. That's the fuck she did. Just like most of you would in that situation. It wasn't no crawl into the bathroom and trying to pull yourself up on the toilet. No. She was stuck. At the very least, I've learned this from why can't I can't even do a fucking screen share. Oh my god, dude. So fucking limited. So goddamn limited. I should fucking cancel the stream and go home. I really should. Anyway, the show must go on. One monkey or two. So she was grateful that she had her husband. Maybe I'll do that in post and add all that shit back in at the tail end. She was thankful she had her husband because she couldn't get herself up off the floor. And by the time he came home, he was able to pick her up and, you know, get her off the floor and whatnot. But she's limited now. And I think about that because I have people in my family that are, you know, strong single women. Oh, why is this nigga on the screen? Let me take him off of there. Get off of there. Oh my fucking god, dude. Not him. Oh my. There we go. All right. So I have a lot of people in my family who are like that in those situations. And they're getting older. And like I told my cousin, we at that age where they're gonna start cycling out, or they're gonna start needing a lot of help. And it's gonna be on us to do it. Now, I'm from some pretty independent people. They are going to hate that shit, left, right, and center. But it is gonna be what the hell is happening. Just is. We have people who are very strong and very stubborn. And when BGS talks about a gynocracy and stuff like that, oh yeah, it's true. I've come from one. I think most Gen Xers have. When you hear people go back and talk about the people who raised them, if you don't hear it was they father, they uncle, they grandfather, you know what the fuck was going on. It was a bunch of women, older or younger, boomers or not. And that's why you see some of the shit you see. That's why we've heard it, especially from Gen X. We don't have it all figured out. We figured out a lot, but we don't have it all figured out at all. I wouldn't even put that jacket on and say, yeah, I got this figured. Fuck it. No, the fuck you don't. No, we don't. Half of this whole culture is us. We're the ones who got 40-year-old mothers trying to be out there with their 20-year-old daughters. Those are Xers, not millennials. So get it right. So as it stands, I cannot give you guys the intros that I want to show you. But as always, we got life stuff, we got geek stuff, and we got some YouTube stuff. On the life front, there's a couple of videos I want to show you, but I guess I will have to add that in post. I'll take this stream down after it's over, put that in, and then you'll see it hopefully streamlined, some form of fashion. So first one goes out to last week after I ended my show. It turned out that there was a Tuskegee Airman who had passed. And because I still got my brain on the work track, I'm not remembering his fucking name right now. All I do remember is have it in my notes that he was 102 years old, and I'm forgetting the brother's name, which is a travesty. So any of you guys with your quick Google fingers, type that shit in, look it up, and you'll find out who the hell he was. He died last Sunday. 102 years old, Tuskegee Airman. So I would say props to him for his sacrifice, his service, and being an inspiration to brothers everywhere. This fucking window not open. I don't know how anybody is going to fight bacteria and everything is sealed up, fucking hermetically sealed, locking in all the damn germs. These fucking windows. So if y'all in the chat, speak up. Can't see you. So the next one goes out to, this was a pretty funny brother. And I say that brother being Charles McGee. Thank you, Aquatechy. Thank you. Shout out to Charles McGee. I don't have any alcohol because I'm at work, but I will Arnold Palmer your ass. There you go. You can't see it. So toast to Charles McGee. I appreciate your service, your sacrifice, and what you did. I don't know if it's something that folks in my generation would have done, especially not in the generation right now, but I do respect the fact that you did. It kind of flies in the face of the narrative that it was all women out there doing shit all these years. Really. It was some really hidden figures, obviously. God damn, dude, I can't get right. Can't get right. Nothing is actually right today. Fuck. Dude, can you just have a decent show? This is going to go down as the worst show in fucking history. I swear to God. Next one goes out to a funny brother. And I just say that because I've watched him for a long time, like a lot of people, right? I am not new to a lot of this stuff that's been around for a while. I'm not. Been watching these people and their products and their work for a long time. And this one goes out to Louis Anderson, who passed on Friday. Now, Louis Anderson, most of you will remember him best from being in Coming to America. So if you know the clip, that's the one I'll put in later on because I can't show it now. But Louis Anderson was a comedian, and he was in that same group with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that. And the scene I first saw him in that I can recall is Coming to America. Now, he was the big fat white guy who was in there washing the lettuce. And if you know the clip, it's a funny clip where Eddie Murphy, Prince Hakeem, and Arsenio Hall, Cindy, go back there and they talk to the guy and ask him what he's doing. He says, I'm washing lettuce, see? Pretty soon I'll be on fries. Imagine. And that's when the big bucks roll in, right? So basically, Prince Hakeem is fucking with Simi about doing this job and how long it takes and being comfortable here. And Simi want to leave. Simi had enough of America and, manual labor. He done with this shit, right? So he wants to leave. That's a funny clip because to me, it's aspirational work. Most people would shit on that dude because he's working at McDowell's washing lettuce. He used to be on fries. Now he's getting to wash lettuce. Most people will say, man, that's shit. Other people say, look, the guy's at least motivated. He's trying to move up somewhere. Everybody is not CEO material, no matter what you think. Everybody is not CEO material. You don't have the talent for it. You don't. You may have the desire, but none of the talent. This dude at least knows what he wants to do. As lowly as it may be, he's fine doing it. I say let him rock out. So I thought it was really funny. And yeah, to Malika's point, also to that sip was for Louis Anderson. Appreciate your work. Sorry he passed. I'm not sure what it's related to. I didn't get time to research the story anymore. Tell Joe, I've been busy as fuck. This is 14 days. But rest in peace to him and Mr. McGee. Next one also goes into what Malika is putting in the chat. Jumping the shark is Regina King's son committed suicide at 26. Now, Malika put it in there. I wasn't going to mention it in here because that'll get into some shit with talking about suicide that I have actual thoughts and ideas on. It is sad the way that brother went. Again, I don't know all the details with that because I wasn't trying to touch it really. But like I've said around Christmas, I've said repeatedly, there are brothers out there. You guys, if you are feeling stressed like that, get yourself some help. Talk to somebody. If it ain't family who can help you, find a damn stranger. That's what therapists are for, because they're unbiased. Hopefully, they're unbiased. Okay, they're there to actually help you. Even if you got to call the hotline, the suicide prevention hotline, call somebody. It's look, a lot of this shit in life will seem like, especially when you're young and in your 20s, that it is that damn serious, and that could be just the end of your life right there. I'll say this. In my 30s, I had to pass some words on to a brother-in-law who was 20 something years old and was thinking about jumping off a bridge and onto the freeway because some chick broke up with him. He thought it was that goddamn serious. And I had to pass on some words through third party to tell him it's not that goddamn serious. Now I say that because while I'm saying that, I'm thinking about where he is now, the woman he's married to, the kids that he has, how much more full of life he seems, how much happier he is. He's a father. He'd have never got that shit if he believed that at 20 his life was fucking over because of a female. He'd have never got there. So that's why I say there are worse things going on than what could possibly be going on in your 20s. Unless you did some fucking double murder or something like that, and you just really don't feel like you cut out for prison, probably shouldn't have been doing a double fucking murder. But if that's the case, I don't know. Maybe. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying there's extreme circumstances that it could be. But you're just miserable about fucking life. Look, motherfucker, there's a lot of people out here on pills, and I don't advocate for nobody getting medication to take care of this shit. I don't. But there's a lot of other services out here for you to get shit done. To level your ass out so you can actually live some fucking life rather than taking your own. Especially not in your fucking 20s. You ain't even lived enough yet. Nigga, what? I mean, not to be morose, he still got divorce and fucked up parenting situations to go through. Look, it can get a lot worse. Trust me, it can get a lot worse. You can have a kid and have somebody do something fucked up to him and try to figure out how to do something to them without taking your ass to jail. Or, excuse me, prison. How about that? There's a lot of other shit that can go And in retrospect is where you notice that it wasn't that bad. In the moment, it seems like it's the most terrible thing in the world. I get that shit. I get it. I've been there. I don't say this shit because I got a trumpet sticking out of my fucking ass. I've been there. Only thing that kept me from doing that shit is understanding how to affect the people around me and who would be looking after my children after I'm gone. So no, it wasn't an option. It's a thought, not an option. 26-year-old, no kids or stuff like that. It's a thought, motherfucker. You know, if you wait another day or two, shit will be gone. So fuck it. So shout out to Regina King, because y'all know I like the way Regina King looked. Sexy brown self. I didn't even know she had a kid until this happened. So that's bad on me, because I try to let celebrities have their fucking lives. But the fact that her son, you know, ended his own life at 26, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing for a brother. He should have been able to reach out to somebody. He should have known that there was somebody he could reach out to. Somebody. Because there is. Trust me. So I don't know his name, because like I said, I didn't want to touch on that story because it brings up some definite feelings with me on suicide and whatnot. And I would do that separate from talking about geek stuff. But RIP to him. And hopefully you found some kind of peace that you didn't feel that you could find here. So on that. Last one goes out to, oh shit, I didn't even write it down here, but I know it. Last one goes out to a brother who I've known about since I was younger. He's a musician, some other stuff, an actor, musician. I've seen him in a couple of roles. He was outside of my age group to really care about what he was actually doing in life, outside of one role. One role. And that role would be Robert Paulson in Fight Club or Big Bob. So if you ever seen the movie Fight Club, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, one of the guys that Edward Norton meets in the beginning before he starts his Fight Club is Big Bob. And Big Bob used to be a weightlifter who was juicing or whatever and made some chemical that made him have women's breath, bitch tits, right? And he's in a support group for men, which I thought would be apropos for today's topics. And he meets him and hugs him and gets to sleep. But that was an introduction in a sense to who Meatloaf was. Yeah, R.I.P. Respect that, Aquateki. Oh yeah, R.I.P. to Meatloaf. Now, I've seen him in a couple of movies. One of the other movies I saw him in outside of Fight Club, I think he was a villain, but I still didn't know who the hell he was and why it was important. It's like, oh, that's Meatloaf. Like, what does that fucking mean to me? Who gives a fuck? I like Meatloaf, but this is a dude. It's a big white dude. Right? So, for what he has done and put out into the world, being his music and being his acting, I will give him respect for that. Because, like I told you guys before, everybody has a voice and a story to tell. And the hardest thing is recognizing where your voice is, what you have to say, and getting it out there so everybody else can hear it. Doesn't matter if they think it's fucking stupid. It really doesn't. It's for you. That is what is the burden of your fucking soul. Nobody else's. That is your journey to get your thoughts and ideas out there. Now I can say part of mine is getting my voice out there and being heard, and given the amount that is copied, I guess I was right on some shit, because motherfuckers don't waste time copying you if you way off the goddamn mark. They just don't. Like I say, the king of man boobs, yeah, Bob had bitch tits. So if you never seen the movie Fight Club, Go back and watch the movie Fight Club, and you'll see Meatloaf in it, and you'll see the role his character played in Fight Club. It became a rallying cry. It became a rallying cry for what they were doing, and it's a good movie with Edward Norton, which is cool. So, what did Aquateki say? He said his mom played I would do anything for love to death in the 90s. I wanted to burn that tape so bad. I don't know if I've ever even heard that song because my mother was not playing no goddamn Meatloaf. I can tell you that much. Prince, yes. No Meatloaf. Sorry, no Meatloaf. We had no Meatloaf at the house. So it would be some music I'd have to discover on my own, watching other shows and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's really easy to watch a movie, hear a song that you like, and find it and play it. It's really easy to do that shit now. Like, maybe you guys will hear this. Let's test the waters and see. Like something like this. No, can't hear it. I hate technology. I hate stupid technology. God damn it. Anyway, point I was going to make for this before it was moving so fucking slowly was take the intro to Peacemaker. Who'd ever heard of Wigwam before watching a Peacemaker show? Who'd ever heard of that shit? Hairband from the 80s or 90s, whoever the fuck. Never heard of that shit. Now I got one of the most popular songs because somebody threw it at the front of a damn intro for their TV show. That's how you get exposure, folks. Make your shit. It reaches somebody because apparently James Gunn had listened to that shit and he found it and he put it in the movie, in the TV show, and now it's popular. Just takes time. He wouldn't have found it if it wasn't out there. Wouldn't have. What are you fucking doing? Oh my God, dude. This thing is moving so fucking slow. I've already tried to stop doing something and it's still doing it. Anyway, so RIP to Meatloaf. And I'm not going to call him King of the Man Boobs, but overweight guys. He always looked creepy to me. So that takes care of the people who have passed in the last week that I would actually know of and could kind of acknowledge. You'll see all the rest of the shit that I had planned on the playback, hopefully. Anyway, moving on. YouTube stuff. Oh, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Because it doesn't run on hopes and dreams. It runs on will and green, just like every other thing. So make the Cash App ring. I think we had a couple of people who donated. I can't see it right now while I'm doing this on my phone. But let me see. Let me see. I can see it now. So who we got? We got Joe Herb in the building. Appreciate you, Herb. I'm gonna write these names down and give you your 3Bs after I finish seeing it. We got Swifty in here, saying for the Geek Sunday tribute. Appreciate you, Swift. Aquateki in the house. Appreciate you to the number one wrench in the building. And we got no one in the building. No one, the package man in the building. Get some of this shit off my screen. And maybe I'll be able to see the rest of these damn alerts. Because trust and believe, everybody's alerts that's going live right now, putting up a video, is popping up on my phone right now. Along with everybody's murder report from Sacramento, like I give a fuck. Those are the only two articles I actually need. Letitia Wright and Robert. Two more articles I need to read. Since somebody got the idea in their head that all of this shit I pull out of my ass is not from actually reading multiple articles on these topics and looking up the information, or just out of my wetware, not Google or Wiki. Okay, so moving on. The stuff in YouTube that everybody's talking about right now. Once again, it's a feeding frenzy on Fresh and Fit about what they said, what they did, and Brittany Renner bobbing back to the surface on another channel and them having exchanging some words with Fresh and Fit. Now, I will keep my responses on this short and sweet because I want to get to the actual geek stuff and not this, ridiculous YouTube shit. And I will say, who the fuck gives a damn about what Fresh and Fit is doing? Who gives a damn about that? Who gives a damn about what Brittany Renner had to say? She's not trying to fuck you. Throwing on a cape don't matter. She ain't interested. Unless you're playing ball. Look, man, this seems like some of the dumbest fucking gossip column shit that I can actually think of. These dudes is over there doing they fucking channel. Minding their business, not thinking about a motherfucking soul over here. Not a soul over here. Doing their show and doing what they do to build their brand, build their channel, build their platform. More power to them. Do I have to like what they're saying? No, I don't have to like what they're saying. Just like none of you motherfuckers have to like what I'm saying. That's not a given. It's not a prerequisite to watching somebody's fucking channel that you agree with them. This is what the essence of a fucking echo chamber is. If you can't find a point of contention with somebody to actually have a little bit of back and forth and have a little bit, well, maybe I don't see it that way, and be respectful about it, then you need to think about what the fuck you listening to. I listen to a lot of people. I don't agree with everything they fucking say because I'm not a clapping fucking seal. No, motherfucker, no. I listen to what they have to say and I run it through this filter, not this one. I'm not listening with my fucking feelings. I'm listening with my brain and deciding what parts of those make sense to me, what parts of those I can agree with, and what parts of those I can throw away and say they on some different shit for themselves, because that ain't nothing about me. So the fuck I do. That's how you, critically listen to motherfuckers. That you can listen to somebody that you object to, but hear the points that they make in their argument. And not just tear them down because they have a different view than you. That's not critical listening. That's looking for an echo chamber. You're looking for somebody to pat you on the back for having your ideas. No, motherfucker, they're your ideas. If you needed an attaboy, shouldn't have said the shit. Now look, whatever the fuck Myron and Fresh is doing over there is working for fucking them. I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world to keep making videos about these two dudes that you can't stand to say how much you can't stand them. Fucking get it. Fucking get it. Yeah, I got it. It didn't take 4 hours. It only takes 15 minutes, if that. Say what you don't like, point out why you don't like it, support your claim, and move on. And find some resolution. Keep it moving. But if for a whole week, I got to keep hearing people going back and forth talking about what these motherfuckers said on their show that they don't even fucking watch, why the fuck do you care? What they eat don't make you shit. And what they shit, you don't have to eat. Who gives a fuck if Brittany Renner was on there? I didn't even know who the fuck that bitch was till she popped up on Kevin's thing. And then it turned out that, I don't know, Kevin might have banged her. Like, Okay, she up for grabs. Baby mama. This is somebody else, what, about to hit the wall, 30-something years old, been using her coochie as a debit machine, and kind of broke it now. I heard BGS talking about it, saying that she's trying to repair her image. Of what? I don't know how you go backwards from being a hoe. I don't. See, it don't work for porn stars either. No matter what they do. Too many tapes out there. In Rittner's case, too many niggas out there and had their dick up in you. Too many high profile niggas and had their dick up in you. I had to think about this yesterday when I was listening to some of the brothers on Art Stream going back and forth about it, and really think about what they're saying about this woman that is any different than understanding that, yeah, she's been with all these dudes. Any chick has probably been with a bunch of dudes that you probably don't even fucking know. And that's probably to your benefit that you don't fucking know who the hell they are. Then you don't have to know about that girl, that threesome she had this one time. None of that shit. Okay? None of that sexy shit. The drug addict that she used to fuck and suck off, you probably don't even want to know that shit. Okay? You don't unless you're getting your fucking testing done. One thing I can say about this, many fucking dudes that this chick has probably been with, and talk about the last one who she got the baby by. What can you get from that situation? She fucked this dude, had his baby. He might have cheated on her or not. Pro ball player, and she bounced with the kid. So she's looking for a cash out. So what can you say about that? Well, she let the nigga go raw. That's the first thing you could say about it. And if he went raw, I don't believe the rest of them niggas went raw either. That make her a trash box. It does. It means if you got enough money wrapped around your dick, anybody can shoot up the club. This was just the one nigga she wanted to get pregnant. Because I, in my own theory, believe that women only get pregnant by men they want to, not by dudes they don't want to. The body doesn't even accept it. That cooch will be spitting that shit out like sunflower seeds. Don't want to keep it. Don't want to keep it at all. But if you've actually been intimate with a woman and had a woman really feeling you, and you in there deep, not deep, deep, you can feel that motherfucker pulling you in. It's trying to milk you like a cow. She wants you. She want that ski. She want the club not shot up. She want the club painted. She want it painted. Now, I felt that not only 2 times because I got 2 kids. I felt that more than twice. So I know the difference. Chick that ain't trying to get pregnant by you, don't think you about shit. She ain't trying to accept your seed. Her body won't even let her accept it. It's mental and biological. That shit will not take. It will not take. That shit will be sliding out of her before you pull your dick out. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. Nigga, we power washing this motherfucker right now. Don't even worry about it. So was she feeling that last dude? Yeah, she was. Does it mean that that's the first dude she went raw with? No, it doesn't. That means every nigga she went raw with. That's just the first one she wanted to have a baby by. Which BGS's point is on, which is saying this was the motherfucker that she thought she could mold. That's why older women go after younger guys, because they want somebody they can control. Get your ass a fucking dog. Men ain't supposed to be controlled by women. I don't think a lot of today's women understand that shit. Men are not supposed to be controlled by women. They're not. You know who women are able to control? Little boys. That's your only job. Your job is not to control men, it's to control little boys. They're seeds, at least for a time. And that has an expiration date on it. So she got what the fuck she got. Fuck am I supposed to be upset for? That she was fucking with a basketball player and he might have stuck his dick in something else? Look, This is something that I hit on when I was married, early when I was married, like in the first 3 to 4 years of marriage. And I asked my wife about this because I had these conversations with actual women. And I asked her, I said, do you realize that the same thing that attracted you to me didn't go away after we got married? Didn't go away. It's still there. I'm still that guy. So if some other woman out somewhere finds me fucking attractive, she don't give a fuck if I'm married or not. Me being married is more of incentive for her to try to give me some pussy. Cause she trying to prove that you ain't all that. She ain't trying to get at me because it's me. She trying to get at me because it's you. She like fucking over other women. Cause women like doing that shit to each other. Especially if they alone. They want you there too. Misery loves company. That's why your good girlfriends never want you to have a good relationship. Especially if she ain't got one. That's misery looking for company. Like if you don't want to listen to Kevin, don't listen to Kevin. I'll tell you this shit. Your single girlfriends will keep a woman single. Her circle will keep her fucking single. If none of them bitches got dudes about something, she'll make sure that you ain't in that relationship along with her either. Because she want her girlfriend to go out and be hoeing with. And that's experience talking. That ain't Kevin. That's my personal experience. I know this. Anybody who's out here dating fucking women actually gets that shit. So, do I give a fuck about Brittany Renner? No, I don't. To me, she's just another single mother out here. She just one with a little bit more ass than the regular. And I know I can actually see the other dudes that she actually been fucking. Now, do I care about what Fresh and Fit's doing? If they corny, if they using red pill talking points, or are they just checking white women and Latinas? Does it fucking matter? At the end of the day, does it fucking matter? I told you guys before, I like women. And far as I know, women come in every fucking color. Every race, color, and creed on the planet got women in it. Some of them is bad as fuck in a good way, and some of them ugly as sin in a bad way. So why does it fucking matter what kind of women they talking to? If they are westernized women, tell you a secret. They're all on the same shit. They are. Do you think it's much fucking difference between a white woman in America, a Latina woman in America, an Asian woman in America, a Pakistani woman in America, a black woman in America, a Native American woman in America? Do you think it's that much fucking of a difference? Get out your goddamn bubbles. We are the smallest community in this bitch, outside of, I think, the Hmongs or some shit like that. And any of these motherfuckers who are Americanized are on the same shit. So I'll say this, just for me. I don't think anybody has a patent on the red pill or becoming aware of how women are. If that was the case, you wouldn't have so many different types of dating coaches. You are a master in the pool that you fucking fish in. That means if you only fish in the pool with the black fish in it, then you only know black fish. If you only fish in the pool with the white fish in it, then you only know white fish. It's very fucking simple. Now, if you dabble in the black pool, in the white pool, in the yellow pool, in the red pool, you will have a more well-rounded knowledge of women in general, not just the ones in the pool that you came from. So I will tell you that from experience, since I fish in all pools. They're all on the same shit if they follow that westernized mind state. You have not lived until you've had a Western Latina who on the same shit as a goofy white chick and trying to live up to the same ideals as a goofy ass black chick from the hood. You ain't lived till you experience that, nigga. That's why I'm a firm believer in you need to vet these women, all of them. Now I know I'm over here in the Black manosphere and we specifically speak to our people, yeah, all well and good. But what I see as being really disingenuous is people making a lot of speculations and shit like that about white folks and Latinos and how they do shit and how they do shit. And none of y'all got no experience with these motherfuckers outside of work. None. You ain't been in their house. You ain't been at their parties. You ain't listened to them talk about no shit. You ain't talked to them about no serious shit to see where they fucking stand. All of this shit is stereotypical and anecdotal. Get your well-rounded in the world before you start talking on all the rest of this shit. Whatever the fuck those two goofy bastards over there is doing, and I can call them goofy because I watched their goddamn show. Whatever they doing over there in Miami with the white chicks and the Latinas that come in there, they would know because they the ones fucking dating them down there. You not. Only person I know in Miami right now is Mr. Z. And Mr. Z got a woman. So if Mr. Z come out and say he dating Latinas and white chicks in Miami, he gonna have a goddamn problem. Outside of racing me on Gran Turismo. So shut the fuck up. If you're not down there in that pool, don't be talking about what them dudes doing down there. You don't fucking know. That's as asinine to me and somebody trying to tell me about how women are in California and they ain't been to this motherfucker. They don't live here. They telling you because they saw a video on YouTube or something on TV? Nigga, what? Look, it's one of my favorite lines from Good Will Hunting, given by Robin Williams, another actor, powerhouse who tragically took his own fucking life. And one of the lines from that shit that he said to Matt Damon's character in Good Will Hunting was, can you tell me about the Sistine Chapel? You'd probably quote me something out of a book, but you couldn't tell me what it smells like in that motherfucker. I added the motherfucker because I do that. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson. You can't tell me what it feels like to look up at the ceiling and see all that magnificent glory. Because there's nothing I don't know about you that I can't read in a fucking book. And for today's audience, there ain't shit about you I can't learn from Googling the same shit you did. We need to stop thinking that our limited experience in one area of the world translates to every other experience in every other place on the world, even in other cultures, even in other ethnicities that we don't live in and don't deal with. You know why I can tell you how white folks act? Because I've been in their families. Mm-hmm. My foster mother is white. Didn't know that, did you? Yes, I have a foster mother. I can tell you about Asian culture. Why? Because my ex-wife is Asian. So for at least 14, 15 years, I was in an Asian family. A lot. Latinos. A lot of my girlfriends, my exes, have been Latinas. So where do you think I was? With their fucking family. Outside of growing up with Latinos in California my whole fucking life. I'm not talking about this shit out my ass and something I just think. It has never been actually field tested or have any fucking result proof. No receipts to show. And outside of that, if you guys don't know, I'm very personable. If I fucking feel like doing it, I'll talk to anybody about some shit that they weren't even expecting me to fucking ask them. Because I like knowing shit, not just speculating, but actually seeing if it's true. And the only way you do that is talk to people that don't say the same shit you do. And ask them those questions. Talk to them about that shit. Because otherwise, you're just talking out your ass. You have no experience to speak on. And that's what I see in this generation that they hate the most. They hate the fact that they don't have the experience to back up anything they're saying. So that's why they run to all kind of other sources to try to validate the shit. Shout out to the doughboy Artie Ibmore for the cash up. He said, nigga, in my Sega voice. That's your Sega voice. I hear Sega and Grinch when you say that shit. Both a good company. But that's what it is. I mean, for real. The hell are we talking about? Look, Myron and Fresh in Miami fucking on chicks in Miami. So they're going to give you their experience of what they've learned from fucking with chicks. And since they're all westernized chicks mostly, then you're going to hear the same kind of red pill talking points, I would think. Even if they use your same terminology. If you want to go after them for using your same terminology, go right ahead. But as far as I know, red pill ain't exclusive to black dudes. It was a whole white manosphere before us were even started, right? And as far as I know, they was talking red pill points. All these people that folks quote and stuff like that, Roll Tomasi and the other fucking jerk off, these all white dudes. So red pill has been here for a while. We don't own this shit. Don't, because we didn't start it. And AB, what's good, AB? I give a fuck about a divestiture. Bitch, do it. Look, why do you need a name for it? I've been saying this shit since the 90s. Ever since the 90s, I think I've told you about this before. Ever since the 90s, where I watched the MTV show True Life, there was a dude on there talking about he was a furry. And it was a whole documentary on plushies and furries. And I watched this whole thing about this 19-year-old boy who liked to dress up in a coyote costume and go to these conventions to get fucked in his ass by a dude. And was telling his mother and parents at the time that you just have to accept my choices in life. And I'm like, she needs to slap the shit out of that boy. Still living in her fucking house. He paid all this money and made this whole elaborate costume to go get fucked in the ass in a hotel room by a grown-ass man in a costume. And I was like, when did just being gay not be enough? You're just fucking gay, dude. You're just gay. What's wrong with that? Nobody has a problem with that shit. You can be fucking gay if that's what you like. But just because you want to do it in a fucking abuser park costume, don't make it any more fucking special if you're still doing the same thing. At base, it's the same thing. If I put my chick in a Wonder Woman costume and I put on a Superman costume, it don't make us the fucking Justice League. It just make us doing some dress up shit and fuck it. Done. So it's the same thing with this divestiture shit. I told you guys this before, AB. I don't get into a lot of that new age terminology because I understand what fucking words mean. I use them. I own dictionaries and thesauruses in multiple fucking languages. You want to hang a new age name on some shit because you want to bring some visibility, some awareness to what it is you're fucking doing? Like I said in the beginning, if you need a fucking pat on the back, you need to stop doing it then. You ain't really about that shit. You just want somebody to pay you some attention. And that's the problem with a lot of these motherfuckers. Too much fucking attention whoring. Too much attention whoring. Look, motherfucker, everything don't need to be broadcast. If you want to not fuck with black men, don't fuck with black men. Black men been doing it for a while, not fucking with you. So don't worry about it. We'll be good. It's a lot of other fucking women out here, and thankfully on the planet, there's more women than men. So we have our pick. Suck it up and walk stage left if you feel so fucking inclined. Nobody will miss you. Be drowning in all the other pussy. Ask Brittany Renner. That's her fucking problem. It was too much extra pussy available to that dude she wanted to lock down. And her cooch couldn't keep a lock on it. Probably because it was out like this. So that's my tidbit on the Fresh and Fit. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of hearing about it. Personally, I'm tired of hearing about it. That's why if I saw Fresh and Fit in your title this week, I probably didn't even watch your video, even though I'm subbed to your channel. Probably didn't watch that shit because I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that I think needs this much time. If you want them to stop growing, do like happens to me. Don't say anything about it. But understand you are the smallest minority of the group. So you ain't making them or breaking them. So if you don't watch them, it ain't hurting shit. They're still going to grow regardless. Doing what they do, selling to who they sell to, which ain't you. So don't be upset. They never said that they was part of the manosphere, black or otherwise, and they never said they were speaking specifically to black folks. So what are you worried about? What difference does it make if Myron ain't all the way black? So fucking what? People out here all day deal with fucking black folks, fucked up ones at that. I think it was Charles put up this video on Instagram with this little white cheerleader getting pushed up on by this black chick, big round black chick, and she hit her and that white chick went off, started beating the fuck out of her. Drug her, threw her down and everything. I thought she tried to get that bitch a rock bottom. She went off on her ass. You know why? Because black folks ain't the only one dealing with all this dumb shit from black people out here. They're not. Everybody else dealing with it too. So if somebody has something to say about something that's going on with black folks that they see and deal with and they don't like, you can't stop them from doing it. Can't. Unless you policing the whole community, which we understand in this space, a lot of motherfuckers don't want to do. So then, shut your mouth. There ain't nothing to be said. Unless you're going to bring it up at the next black folks meeting, only who can talk and who can't. That means you're going to have to act like a monolith so you can enforce that. If not, you're going to have to deal with the shit. Fresh and Fit is going to do what the fuck Fresh and Fit is doing because they started their channel not talking to you, talking to whoever else was listening. And apparently they got something, hundreds of thousands of people listening. They're the audience for everybody. So that's my 2 cents on the Fresh and Fit YouTube shit. Not a story. Moving on. Got my rant out about that shit. So moving on to my geek stuff. So just in case, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And it don't make a thing unless the Cash App ring. Let me get these brothers a salutes. And if you see this black thing, it's just my pointer because everything bounces otherwise. And I'm doing it on my phone, on the GIMP. Motherfucker! I better still be fucking live. There we go. Okay. Whoo, you almost saw me start throwing shit. Almost saw me start throwing shit. Almost. All right. So let me pull this up and I will get y'all 3B salutes because I do appreciate you hanging in for the late stream, technical difficulties, and rants among us. I don't know if I changed this number. Anyway, so Joe Herb, appreciate you, brother. I will give you your 3B salute. See if that quickens it up a little bit. There you go. Nothing to play. Just shut up. Appreciate you, Joe Herb, and to Swift for the Geek Tribute. I appreciate you. Let me give you that 3B salute. Thank you, sir. It works. To the Aquatechie, #1 wrench in the building. Appreciate your support, sir. I will give you that 3B salute. To the No One, appreciate you, the package man. I will give you that 3B salute. And to the Doughboy, Artie Idmore, I will give you, I know what he like. I'm going to give him that guts and butts. Appreciate you, Artie Idmore.
Double up. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the
All right. So we still need 5 more. Halfway there. Halfway there. So if you're just coming into the stream or you feel like you want to donate again, please do. What did Malika say? Don't blow a gasket, brother. Malika, look, my head is hurting right now. And with this week, I can't blow a gasket, I tell you. I'll share this with you guys right now. I have to go get tested for COVID tomorrow. You know why? Because some goofy motherfucker got this shit and was around me and didn't say anything. So I didn't blow a gasket and choke the shit out of him. What I did do is schedule my testing and let my job know, because now I can't work around anybody. And I may have to be off work for 5 days if this goddamn test comes back positive. Other thing I got to deal with is the fact that I'm black getting this COVID shit, which I didn't want. I'm being real fucking careful and being really fucking cool. Being really safe. Been doing it for over a year now. One goofy motherfucker not taking this shit seriously can have my whole situation fucked up for a week or so if I don't die from the shit. Asshole. So with this work stuff going on, trying to get all these hours in and stuff like that, in case I'm off for a week, and this is fucking up my money and it's pissing me off, I do deserve to blow a gasket. I do. But as I was just saying about the brother with suicide, one of the things I use that always helps me is no matter what I'm going through, I have to understand it could always be worse. It could always be worse. It can. Take whatever situation you in at that time and think it could always be worse. How could it be worse? Well, you could be fucking blind dealing with it. You could be crippled in dealing with it. You could be homeless in dealing with it. So it could always be worse. Count your fucking blessings and deal with what the fuck you got to deal with. So that's what I'm doing. I'm dealing with what the fuck I have to deal with, and sitting here thermometering myself and watching for fucking symptoms, even though I cut all my fucking hair off and it's cold as fuck up here now. So who's to say what's one thing and not the other? I'm cold. Do I gotta chill because I got COVID? Or is it because this fucking window is open? Now I gotta deal with that shit. Fucking dumbass people, man. What the fuck? This is my life. But it could always be worse, because I could be in a wheelchair dealing with the shit. So that's what it is. It is what it is. So on top of that, the good thing is that I pretty much work by myself. So I can take care of my work and not. And I'm still able to work until I'm showing some kind of symptoms. I'm not showing any symptoms. And I found out, Thursday? No symptoms yet. Nothing outside of what I usually fucking have. Which is, I can't say it's a stuffy nose because I have fucking allergies. No sore throat, no temperature, outside of being upset and angry. Can't say a headache was it because I was up at 7:30 this morning and I didn't eat until right before this stream. Yeah, that would give you a headache. So it just is what the fuck it is. So somebody hoping for a negative and it ain't fucking me. Because I told people ahead of time, if I get the shit, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Because I am really clean. I don't like being near people before this shit ever came around. You don't talk in my face like that. No, nigga, I don't like germs like that. I'm not a germaphobe. I just know I don't like people's fucking breath all on me. Got the shit and just walking around or even stuff all up in the fucking air. Asshole. So we'll see what we see. So beyond that, I wasn't sure I was going to mention that, but it came up. And like I told you guys before, my streams are organic. They go where the fuck they go. It's called a stream for a reason. So that was the stream of consciousness and it came up. Ain't sympathy points and ain't none of that shit. I'm just telling you what the fuck is going on in relation to blowing a gasket. So Malika, being that I'm dealing with all this shit and all this goofy shit that was going on with work, and I'm still on call for another whole day, not really getting any sleep because motherfuckers want to call in the middle of the night for shit that's not a goddamn emergency. Doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I haven't destroyed anything yet. I'm just close to. Don't go to Red Lobster. More than half of their workers have it. I've never gone to Red Lobster. And don't miss it. Don't miss it. But I work with too many ignorant motherfuckers, or not work. I shouldn't say work. It's not work. There's in a couple of places. There's too many people around me who don't take this shit seriously. They don't. I do. And motherfuckers thinking I'm being antisocial. I'm not being antisocial, motherfucker. I'm looking after my health. I don't have time to be sitting around with you jaw jacking. Fuck out my face. Call me on the phone to text me. I'm sure you can't get it then. Or keep your fucking mask on over your nose, not under it. Stupid asses. I hate wearing these things. Motherfucker, I wear a mask for a whole fucking year at work, sweating and hot and everything. Shut the fuck up. Put your paper mask on and leave people well enough alone. Nah, I can't go post to Malika because I don't work in the post office. I don't work in the post office. But unfortunately, my brother has the shit. And he does work in the post office. Why does he have it? Because one of his coworkers came to work with that shit and didn't tell anybody. And they didn't stay their ass home either. So it's a lot of goofy shit going on. This shit is really close to me. My brother is all right. He's been sick as hell, but he's all right. Freaked my mother out, had her scared, but he's all right, as far as I know. So I wish people would take this shit seriously and stop acting like it's a goddamn game. Because it's like I told my daughter when she started driving. I started teaching her to drive. The hard part about driving is not driving a vehicle. It's not. That's the easiest part of it. Hardest part of driving is looking at the other fucking drivers and making sure you react in a way that keeps them from getting you killed. In essence, like a drunk driver. Why do drunk drivers usually survive the accident? They doing some shit that's risking their life. They ain't risking their life. They're risking everybody else's fucking lives. Because those are the people who end up killed. They'll walk away from that shit. Oh, what the fuck? I was fucked up. Yeah. And these people dead. Stupid motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. Not respecting the fact that you need to wear a fucking mask. Just wear a goddamn mask. And breathe your own germs. That's all you need to do. That's all. Dude, that seems like the simplest fucking thing to me. Ain't like you got to give a blood sample every time you leave the house. Wrap yourself in saran wrap and put your whole outbreak suit on. Just put a fucking mask on. A paper one. I got a shitload of them now. The one place I don't wear it, which is when I'm at home. The one place it was. Anyway, moving on to the geek stuff. Let's get some levity in this building before Malika worry about me going off. And Malika, I will say this as a psychological student and an amateur psychologist, I can say that shit because I actually have a degree in this shit. It is helpful for you to express anger and have those outbursts. You know why? Relieves your stress. Relieves your stress. You know what makes you crazy and blow a gasket is if you're holding it all in. Pressure cookers have a relief valve on it for a reason. Because if they don't, the shit will blow up. But if you have a relief valve, pressure valve, when it gets too high, you let it off. That's what a rant is. That's what a rant does. Because then you get the shit out. Now it's dissipated. Sometimes you got to let that shit off. So if you really feeling it one day, you in a car someplace where people ain't going to come running because it's a brother out there, get that scream. Just fucking yell. Ah! Just yell. Get it out. As long as you can, as loud as you can, as hard as you can. Get that shit out. And you'll feel your body relax afterwards. Think about what it was that you were fucking stressing you and let that shit out. You'll feel better. Even if you got to say fuck shit damn 1,000,000 times in a row. Because I'm a fan of curse words. I don't think they belong everywhere, but I'm a fan of curse words. I love those because they get to the point. And I like expedience. I know, brother, I'm just teasing. I know you teasing me, Malika, but look, me and you know we teasing each other. Everybody else in here might not know, but somebody might watch this on the replay and get something out of it. All of this shit is to help other folks, brothers, others. It don't fucking matter. It's to help other folks. And if it can, why not throw the shit out there? Let's see. 2 more cash outs. Uh-oh. No one is back. What did no one say? Go get in that back top tank after the stream. I wish I did have one of those. I wish I did have a fucking back top tank because I'd be in that shit hard. Did Art of more donate again? Or is this the same one? I thought I wiped it. Okay. It says 25 minutes ago, so it must have been. I don't think it was the same one. But for no one, he doubled up on the stream, so I'll give him the guts and butt, and then I'm jumping into this geek stuff so I can get you guys out of here in a decent hour, and I can get out of here in a decent hour because I want to shower, I want to lay in my bed. Where's my guts and butts? There we go. All right, for no one, the guts and butts for the double up. Appreciate you, no one.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on you once.
All right. What up, Beastly Nerd? What did Beastly Nerd say? That's why I go to kickboxing and jiu-jitsu for the stress. Yeah, Beastly, I said that when I was married, man. I told my wife that shit. When I was getting so stressed sometimes, I think I needed to go somewhere and have somebody kick my ass. She wasn't going to do that shit. She couldn't. Like, I thought about going back because I always wanted to learn Muay Thai. I thought about going back and taking a martial art or just going and boxing. Because in boxing, you can spar. You can spar with somebody. And once they step into the ring, they know they expect to get hit too. So it's not no big deal if you just wail on their ass. It's expected, right? Just to get that shit out because men need to. And one of the things I told my ex-wife was that today's men is limited in so many ways to how he can relieve his stress. You get surprised when a motherfucker goes off. Like, what other option does he fucking have? He can't run around cussing out everybody all the time. He can't run around swinging on everybody all the time. But you still have the same kind of stressors, the same reactions. So what do? How do you get that shit off? They try to outlaw everything that's masculine about your ass and the display of any rage or anger. So what are you gonna do? You either hang up a heavy bag in your damn garage, a house or something like that, or get you one of those what are they called, the little Chuck Norris dummies or whatever the fuck, and start beating the shit out of that every time you feel it. Go to the gun range, take a baseball bat outside, and as you just start swinging on trees and shit like that. You got to do something to get it out because men are active. Men are active energy. You have to be doing something to get that stress off. And if the chick don't want to fuck, then look, you got two options. You either gonna beat the shit out of something or you gonna beat the shit out of something. It's one or the other. Those two ways will calm your ass down. If you can't do one, you left to the other, motherfucker. So look, get your ass some boxing gloves or something. Go outside and start punching trees. Look, I'm serious. I'm not. It's funny when I say this shit, but nigga, you're gonna have to do something. You gotta get that shit out. You gotta tire yourself out. Angry sex. Yeah, look, Art of Itmore, ain't nothing wrong with a good man fuck. There's nothing wrong with a good man fuck. It's fucking therapeutic, man. Shout out to Black Uru. It's therapeutic, man. Look, that shit. I told an ex this before. Sex at a certain point, after a certain age, after you're done being a child, and I just gotta get as much as I can. After that, that shit is just regular maintenance. That's all that shit is. It's regular maintenance. Get my endorphins and serotonin levels firing right. Get off a good one. Like, I'm good. Like, we can talk about anything after that because I'm cool. I'm stress less. It is. Dojo, range, gym, probably the last places we go. Got. Yeah, those are the last places we got because here's what happens, beastly nerd. Especially with the range. If you do go off on somebody, make sure what kind of chick you got with you, because that'll be the first thing she tell motherfuckers you do. Oh, you go to the range all the time. In today's climate, they'll say you were practicing for actually trying to shoot people. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, I go to the range to learn how to be accurate with this bitch. Last thing I want to do is have an intruder come into my house and be all over the place, look like I got a fucking fly fish on the line, and I'm not holding a pistol, saying, get the fuck out of my house. That's stupid. Either way, something's getting subdued. Yeah, Aquatech, either way, something's got to be subdued. You got to calm that beast down. You do. You got to calm it. Because he don't sit in the corner and just go dormant, nigga. No, this ain't Smog. He ain't just gonna lay there on his gold and chill. No, that motherfucker can keep getting bigger. Why do you think Bruce Banner would be the Hulk forever? He's a little nerdy dude who didn't get off his fucking anger till he got gamma irradiated. Then what happened? You saw how much his fucking anger was. And Hulk is the goddamn strongest. Yeah, men definitely masculine assets, Malika, but they raised so pussy nowadays, they don't even want to get in a fight with motherfuckers. Watch Fight Club again and get the underlying message in there that men need to tap into what makes them men. And part of that is being in a fucking fight. Now, if you don't want to get in those random incursions, like clubs and bars out in the street and shit, then you get your ass, shout out to Charles Faulkner, into some masculine fighting sports, and you'll work that shit out. Probably calm down all that feminine energy you got in your ass that make you want to keep rising up on niggas. Don't worry about it, Beastly. Look, We all type it in keypads nowadays. Grammar is the one thing that motherfucker don't always correct. I got big fucking thumbs. The fact that I don't have to get through 2 sentences without going back and fixing a word or grammar is a fucking miracle. And not because I don't know how to type. It's just because touchscreens like certain spots, and I got big fucking fingers. Yeah, I ought to hit more than big sausages, nigga. Show you what my favorite girlfriend look like. It's just right. All right, geek stuff. Let's get to it. I still need 4 contributors. Hopefully, I'll earn those 4 as I go along. All right. So what we got on geek stuff? You got Book of Boba Fett, Peacemaker, Marvel Slate, Star Wars, and there was something else I heard today. Anyway, so let me just jump to the obvious. Let's just jump to the obvious. Book of Boba Fett. There were things I liked in this last episode, but I'm look, this 4 episodes in. This shit is going a bit too slow. Bit too slow for me. Now, I'm on board with the Boba Fett show, right? I'm watching it, right? I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett show. I'm liking some of the shit I'm seeing. By 3rd episode, these flashbacks was too fucking long. There's too many goddamn flashbacks. You should have wrapped this shit up already. I don't know how many episodes they got. I'm assuming it's like 8 to 10. We should be done with these fucking flashbacks. And the one thing I'm dreading when I get to Wednesday is that I'm going to have to deal with another scene of fucking flashbacks. Tell me the fucking story. You bore me to death. And the reason I say that they bore me to death is because I'm watching Peacemaker too. Right? Book of Boba Fett on Wednesday, Peacemaker on Friday. Peacemaker is in episode 4 too. I'm actually intrigued with what the fuck is going on. Even though the first 2 episodes I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll watch it. This shit kind of goofy. I'm not sure I'm really gonna be into this shit. Episodes 3 and 4, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on in this show? I need to watch more of this show. I need to see what's going on. That's a huge switch from when I was on board with Boba Fett, and now I'm like, and I was like, on Peacemaker, and now I'm like, man, I can't wait to see this next episode because you're gonna have to explain some shit to me. I need to know what the fuck is going on. Now, like Swift is saying in here, like the Mandalorian may make a cameo. Yeah, he might, but who gives a fuck? It ain't his show. We've already seen the Mandalorian. And here's the thing I want to answer that I heard a couple of people talking about season 4 or episode 4 of Book of Boba Fett and not seeing the character being that interesting right now. And I'll tell you why. Why you're seeing that the Mandalorian was really good and the Book of Boba Fett seems like it's lagging and suffering. You realize, and I'm going to mix all this stuff together so I can get through it really quickly, so don't worry about it. You realize the Mandalorian show that Jon Favreau made was originally supposed to be the Boba Fett show. Okay? Way back when, before Jon Favreau was even at Lucasfilm, they had on their slate a Boba Fett show. About the time Solo came out, if you remember, they had a Boba Fett show slated. Didn't work. Wasn't working, right? They weren't going to do it. Now, if you've been following this shit that's been going on at Lucasfilm since, I don't know, Last Jedi, you know that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to get rid of all this George Lucas shit. She's trying to create her own character. So that's why Boba Fett was kind of pushed to the fucking background. That's why that show didn't pop off. It was supposed to follow the Solo show. You got a Solo independent movie. You were supposed to get a Boba Fett independent movie. Didn't happen. Then it was going to be a show. That didn't happen. You know what did happen? Rise of Skywalker. You know what happened after that? John Favreau came to Kathleen Kennedy like, what the fuck? What? Look, let me come on. I'll fix it. Now, when John Favreau came on, hooked up with Dave Filoni, and they came in to do their shit, they took over that Boba Fett show and turned it into a new original character, which was the Mandalorian. That's why it was the Mandalorian and not Boba Fett. Because if you strip it away from the name, what is Boba Fett at essence that you knew about him beforehand? He was just a Mandalorian. All the rest of that stuff was developed off of that show. So the way the Mandalorian is, it was set up to be a Boba Fett show. He's mysterious. You don't really know who he is. He's kind of a gunslinger. Kind of walk in like a badass. Everybody kind of afraid of his ass and shit. Don't really know what he owned. Don't know what his face looked like. That's because that was set up as a Boba Fett show. And the more popular that show got, the more that motherfucker took off his helmet. Now, because of that popularity, that's why they worked Boba Fett back in to the canon, because everybody was liking Din Djarin better than Boba Fett, because everybody's wondering, well, the fuck is about it? Like, shit, Din is a motherfucker. What's going on with Fett? He might be better than Fett. Hardcore fans didn't want that shit. So now you got Boba Fett back. That's why he popped up on the Mandalorian show. Because it would be epic to have the two cinematically known Mandalorians on the same show and give him his own spinoff show. Now, because of that, they took all that stuff from that original Boba Fett show and turned it into the Mandalorian. You understand that that's starting fresh, starting new. That's Kathleen Kennedy stock and trade. That's KK shit. Oh, let's just start new. We don't have any existing canon. We'll just make it all up as we go along. Okay, it can be if you're a decent writer, but you're a producer. You're not a fucking writer. So what the fuck? Right? So Bubba's back and he needs his own show. You get his own show, but they've taken, because of what they've done in the Mandalorian show, they've broken some of those codes of the Mandalorians. So now you get Boba Fett in a show that takes off his helmet all the time. Now, where I was giving them this caveat, and me and Dr. T have gone back and forth about this, because Dr. T appears on this shit. He's like, no fucking way, he got his helmet off too much. I agree. But for how they're moving now with these Mandalorians, how they've established now with these Mandalorians, Boba Fett was never really a Mandalorian. Django wasn't operating as a strict Mandalorian. That's like they crazy set. They right wingers. So apparently the rest of these Mandalorians, since the Clone Wars, take off their fucking helmets all the time when they fucking feel like it. It's cool. It's no problem. Even though I've never read that in the books. But okay. Moving on. Now, I said this to Dr. T in this, is that Boba Fett being the head of his own show, leading his own show, you're going to have his mask off more. It's just what it is nowadays. Now, thankfully, his helmet is not CG. It's a real thing. So if you wanted to, you can have him wear that shit all the time and never take it off. Keep that mystery, keep that badassery about his ass, and keep pushing people. Like I told you, if I had a helmet, like I'd never take that bitch off. You wouldn't even know who the fuck I was if I took it off. You come to my throne room and you see me standing there and be like, "Where's Boba Fett?" It's like, "Oh yeah, he stepped out." You'd never know, right? Because I'd use that shit to its fullest. This series, because he's the lead, you already know it's Temuera Morrison. You know he's the clone of Jango Fett. You already know what fucking Jango Fett looks like. There's no real plausible reason to have him still wearing his helmet the whole time when the audience knows what the fuck he looks like. He has to deliver lines now. He has to give this performance now. More lines, mind you, than the Mandalorian was delivering in his show, because it was set up as a Boba Fett show first. Yeah, Aquateki, look, yeah, that motherfucker got a rebreather on it anyway. Yeah, I'd be in the Bacta tank in my helmet. Like, damn, you don't even take it off when you're in the Bacta? No, bitch. I'm healing. Fuck out of here. My fucking Bacta tank will look like a helmet. Like them old school racing car beds, my Bacta tank will look like a Mandalorian helmet, nigga. You wouldn't see shit. So understand that's what's going on with the Boba Fett show. Okay, it is trying to find its own legs after they've done so much and taken so much of the mystique away from Mandalorians, revealing their identities, knowing who they are under that shit has kind of been written away now, thanks in part to the success of the Mandalorian show. It is what it is. These are the drawbacks of having something workable. Because if you're going to center a show around a character that doesn't speak, what do they say? Yeah, less than 2 minutes of dialogue for the whole trilogy. You ain't getting 8 episodes. This motherfucker's going to have to talk a lot more. Now, if you've seen the recent interview with Temuera Morrison and Ming Na, and they're talking about that Temuera Morrison didn't want to say all these lines. He didn't think that the character should be saying this much. That he was trying to feed lines to Ming Na so she could say more. And Boba Fett would say less. That even though Jon Favreau wasn't there, he's in Atlanta working on something else, which I would assume is some other Star Wars project or maybe something from Marvel. Maybe it was Spider-Man at the time when they was doing this shit. But he was saying, no, you have to read all of this shit. You have to say all of that shit. And hearing this report kind of goes in the way that some people have said about this Boba Fett show. It's like it's a fan film. That it was it was written by people that really love Boba Fett and are missing the nuance that this motherfucker was a badass because he didn't say too much. He's having to say too much. He's smiling too goddamn much. And for me, I would have put that off as being Temuera Morrison's character, how he is, because you have yet to see Boba Fett be really ruthless, especially in this season 4. You don't see him being really ruthless. You don't. Now, truthfully, story-wise, he says that his time with the Tuskens had changed him. So if you want to say that he went native in a sense, okay. All right, fine. He's went native. He's not the same Boba Fett. He's been with the Tuskens for, I guess, a couple of years out in the desert. That's where I think they run into a timeline problem, because I don't think he was sitting in that fucking Sarlacc for years. The motherfucker would have been dissolved. Okay? So I think they're having a problem with the time jumping in that sense. Now, maybe he was with the Tuskens for years. I don't know. They ain't dating this shit like that. And I'm not looking for it. Come on the back. What did AB say? He distracted me with this shit. Vader took his helmet off while he was in the back tank. Yeah, and you saw the back of Vader's head. He turned his back to the shit. Only time Vader had his helmet off, all you saw was the back of that nigga's head. He ain't trying to show everybody that shit. That's why I was a kid. I thought his brain was on a stick. I didn't see that it was a whole collar piece. There was an actual person under that motherfucker. So I'd say that because of the success of The Mandalorian and all the ideas for Boba Fett getting poured in that show to make this new character of Din Djarin The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett show is lacking a little bit in personality for Boba Fett. He's missing the ruthlessness. And I was listening to somebody on Geeks and Gamers point this shit out recently, was that this was the dude that Darth Vader was saying he was trying to pull on the leash. Like, hey, no disintegrations. He had to warn this nigga not to disintegrate people, right? You ain't seen him disintegrate anybody. You know who you have seen disintegrate some motherfuckers? Din Djarin. Oh yeah, he disintegrated motherfuckers right off the bat. Right? Them Jawas, when they stripped his ship, what did he do? Disintegrated them little bitches. Okay? We haven't seen anything that hardcore out of Boba Fett. Outside of going in and beating somebody with a bantha stick and riding up on a motorcycle gang and shooting them with the Slave One cannons. For people who don't know this shit and haven't lived with it a long time, he's not living up to the hype that every other fan would have for seeing a Boba Fett. Not. At this rate, he kind of fucking boring. He's an old gunslinger. He's Boba Fett Torino in this bitch. Just get off my lawn. I just want my sand dunes. Leave my sand ocean. My Espa is mine. Stay off of my sand. That's where he at. Like, this is old Fett. This is Boba Fett. So he ain't out there about to get buck with motherfuckers all the time. He trying to calm down in his later years and have his little nest egg. He ain't trying to be out there brawling. But that's because Timor Morrison is old. He ain't gonna be out there brawling like that. So in that sense, you could say that you I don't want to say this, but maybe you got gypped. Maybe there was nothing left in the tank in Mandalorians for Boba Fett to have a show and come out strong and be ruthless and all the rest of that shit. Maybe it's not. Maybe this slow tone is what you're gonna get through the whole show. Because I was thinking, I had initially thought that Robert Rodriguez was directing the whole thing. Apparently, he was not directing the whole thing. Only person that did something on the whole thing was Jon Favreau, which saying he wrote it. But if he's working on multiple projects, then that would mean he wrote the outlines and the bullet points to hit. Somebody else filled in the rest of that shit. Because that's how you delegate and manage multiple projects. You can't sit there and just write out the whole project. You got to bullet point that shit for people and give it to people you trust to go in there and fill in the rest of the shit. So that may be what's happening with Boba Fett. As it stands, it's kind of getting to be a yawn to me. If I watch episode 5 and this motherfucker got another fucking flashback, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna be disappointed as fuck. Because, like, nigga, you can't tell me a whole story in flashbacks. And the reason I say this because I just recently heard some shit that they're going to use this same kind of flashback style when they start doing the Luke Skywalker show. And it's like, I don't want no motherfucking flashbacks like this for 4 episodes. Fuck that. No. It better be about something different. Because, look, Boba Fett, there was a reason to put it in there. He got his ass in the back top tank. Okay. All well and good. I don't need a flashback every fucking episode. I don't need half an episode of fucking flashbacks every time. That wears on my fucking patience. It does. I want to see progression. Flashing me back is not progression. Yes, it's some interesting information. You filling me in on what he got. You could have wrapped that shit up in 3. Could have wrapped that shit up in 3. Savage said, Ilongo Savage, yes, I agree. This is not the way. Look, I like Jon Favreau, but I'm not above saying that Jon Favreau fucked up on something. Like, I think you missed something, homeboy. You got too fanboyed in that shit. That's just what it is. I told y'all the same thing about Kevin Smith and that He-Man Masters of the Universe shit. Look, I like Kevin Smith. But if he did something fucked up, I'm gonna say he did something fucked up. That He-Man shit was fucked up. I still haven't watched the second part to that shit. Still haven't. Still haven't. Can't bring myself to. Like, I got other shit to watch. I'll watch Jason Bourne movies. I'm not watching that shit. Disappointed. Don't mean I'm throwing away Kevin Smith altogether, but it's like, nigga, you just come here, bro. Come here. Turn your shoulder to me. Turn your shoulder. Lost one of your geek stripes for that shit. Lost one of your geek stripes for that shit. No. Mm-mm. You've been demoted. You got a demotion. Field demotion. It's just what it is. So if John went a little bit too fanboy on this shit, okay. I still want to see what comes out of this damn show. I'm interested to see that, but the pacing right now is like slow as fuck, dude. And maybe some people were on it sooner than me. I was willing to give it a chance. I'm giving it 4 at this point. I'm giving it 4 fucking chances, and it's not picked up. And this is supposed to be the halfway point, as far as I know, of this season. You should have picked up already by season episode 3 and 4. 4 should have me hyped for 5. At this rate, Hawkeye had a better lead up arc in shorter episodes. I could not watch episode 5 at this point. Like, what am I, I don't even know what the fuck I'm tuning in for Wednesday. I don't even know what the fuck to look forward to. Nothing. Like a Pike War? Who gives a fuck? Mandalorian might be showing up. Nigga, I just saw you working with them at his show. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'll watch it when I watch it at this point. And y'all did that because shit is turning into a fucking yawn. I want to see Boba Fett being feared. I can understand him coming in and wanting to be the new daimyo and actually ruling with some respect, but motherfucker should have been afraid of him when he walked in. And I do agree, he should have had his helmet on when meeting new people. Should not have taken that shit off. Delivering dialogue or not, he shouldn't have taken that shit off. Fennec, seeing his face, Fennec, she down. Them Gamorreans, fuck no. They wasn't seeing his face beforehand, and he was in Jabba's palace. No, fuck them. No. That's something you see in private to your trusted staff, not everybody just out on the fucking street. Every time you got to deliver some dialogue, you popping off your fucking helmet. Nigga, you bad as Spider-Man and Iron Man in the Marvel movies now. Can't say shit without your mask off. Then what good is a secret identity? There ain't no damn secret if you're telling everybody. Anyway. Now, I finished the first part of He-Man, but I have not watched the second part. Have not. I didn't think anybody liked the Pikes either, but look, you see that one of the things the Boba Fett show is good for is getting a lot of B and C list characters that you didn't know shit about, filling you in on who they are and what they're about. Pike Syndicate was just some motherfuckers out there. It wasn't shit to the Hutts, as far as I knew, or Crimson Dawn. But they played up now, so I guess we're gonna be dealing with these fish face fuckers for a little while. They should die in gurgles, I guess, if we get the Boba Fett that'll go out there and actually be feared. Because motherfuckers can respect 2 things. They can respect that you a pussy, or they can respect that your ass ain't a pussy. They can respect the way you killed that other motherfucker. Like, damn, you saw what the fuck he did to him? I'm gonna leave him the fuck alone. That's some respect that you need, I think, as a daimyo. I think you need that kind of respect that motherfucker will go. So to transition with Ilango Savage saying Peacemaker is a way better show. Peacemaker is more fun. It is. This week proved it. Look, this is one of the choice times that you have. You got 2 shows, 2 brand new shows running at the same time with characters that you've seen cinematically before, right? Even with Peacemaker, he was just in Suicide Squad. They have a TV show treatment, right? They got a streaming show. They're on the same number of episodes. I'm looking forward to what's happening on Peacemaker more. That's in the front of my fucking mind. More than what I'm looking forward to in the book of Boba Fett. And that was supposed to be a lock for them. You should have had me locked in already. It's not. I just told you I could give a fuck about seeing episode 5 when it comes out. I'll wait. Why? Because nothing is fucking happening. Yeah, a lot of character development stuff is happening. There's no fucking action. The only action I get is him shooting these motherfuckers from Slave One on their little bikes. I'm sorry. Look, if these bikers in a Star Wars universe, if these bikers had killed the people I've come to love and respect that trained me, nursed me back to health when I was damn near dead or whatever the fuck, taught me their ways and made me one of them, I'm not riding down on you in my spaceship. Oh no, nigga. Maybe I rode on you with my spaceship to find you and shot your bikes out from under your bitch ass. But best believe I'm landing that bitch and walking up on you. That must be too much of the West Coast in me. We gonna bareface it. Walking up on you. What the fuck? What you did was uncalled for. It was unforgivable. So you will get unforgivable treatment. Just blast you from a ship and float on. No, that means you pay more respect to the Sarlacc than these motherfuckers. Sarlacc ate your ass. No. Them motherfuckers would be legless. And I'd be walking up on them so they know who the fuck did it. Because they don't know who's in that goddamn ship. Could have been for some other shit. They could have been thinking, oh, this is something else coming out to get me. Maybe it's the Pikes. Nah, nigga, you'd see my fucking face. You'd be seeing my goddamn face. And I'd be finishing you off to let you know it was me. That is the Boba Fett that I would expect. Not this don't touch my butt and shit. Man, fuck you. Sound like a pussy. Yeah, make it up close and personal, nigga. You gonna have to know. Because there was one good time in that Boba Fett show where he's telling Fennec Shand when he rescued her, brought her back, got her back to life, and he's saying, I am Boba Fett. He looked Timora Morrison, if you've never saw We Were Warriors about the Maoris in was it Tasmania, Australia, whatever, go back and watch that movie. He's a fucking beast. Young Timora Morrison is a beast. That's why I knew of him before he was Jango Fett. Told you I watch a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of movies. That look he was given, that was the ice grill he should have been giving them fucking bikers. And should have been telling them, I am Boba Fett of the Sand People tribe that you killed. I will have my vengeance. Told y'all my favorite characters, Punisher, Ghost Rider. Punisher and the Ghost Rider. Why? Because they get vengeance for the innocent. And they don't mince words about that shit at all. That logo ain't just, that ain't even up there, but that logo ain't just a nice, logo ain't up there just for show. There's a reason why I like that shit. Whole different demeanor. That being me, you'd have had Fennec looking worried. She'd have been debating her choices of riding with me or not, because they would have got done all kinds of unspeakable. All kinds of unspeakable. Because at that rate, they wiped out your fucking family and your kid or your little brother. Fuck all that. They ain't getting no blaster boats off no ship. That's too good for them. Fuck all that. They getting some up close and personal Rambo Last Blood shit. Fuck you. That was unforgivable. But in the transition, Peacemaker, lighter show. Lighter, more fun, more things going on story-wise. No, I wasn't interested in all the check boxes and shit like that they was doing in the show. I gotta stand up because my ass is numb in the stool. Let's see if that works. There we go. No, I was not liking that, but it's developing. it's there, but it's not the whole fucking story, and that's what I can appreciate. Like I said, I don't care about none of this other stuff, really. I just want the story to be good, because that's what I care about. The characters could be white, black, purple, green, a fucking unicorn with rainbows shooting out his ass. It could matter not. If the story is good, I'll watch that unicorn with the rainbows shooting out of his ass. I will. And you can tell me a story about why rainbows shoot out his ass, and I might be interested in this shit if you write it worth a fucking had some imagination. So in the Peacemaker show, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting more character development at a quicker clip with the Peacemaker character, because I told you guys, the first 2 episodes, I'm like, this motherfucker's goofy. I'm not turning in to watch this shit just with this dude being goofy. Well, three, they kind of turned it around. 4, they turned it around a little bit more. You seeing what's going on with this character. This character has been through some shit. He's goofy because he doesn't actually fit. The motherfucker don't fit in. He's trying to impress people. He's trying to get his pat on the back and acceptance from people. But he is raised by a motherfucker that don't know how to get acceptance from anybody other than being an asshole. So that's what he is. He's just an asshole. He's doing his impression of his fucking dad, how his father raised him. Now, I might not be all with the father shit or shitting on daddies, but it is what the fuck it is. It's making more sense to the character now. Now I'm seeing this character's pain. Now I'm seeing this character struggle, what he's actually dealing with. And yeah, I got a flashback, but you know when I got it? Episode, 4? Once. That's it. It told you the point, and that was it. Flashback over. Thank you. It wasn't half the goddamn episode. I'm watching this Peacemaker show and I'm thinking like, God damn, dude. Do the WWE got the best actors around or what the fuck? This is a wrestler. This is 50 Cent in the WWE. You mean to tell me John Cena is a really good actor now? Because this motherfucker emoting. I'm into his damn performance as Chris Smith the Peacemaker and feeling this motherfucker's pain. I'm like, damn, dude. You are having a problem. Something got did to you. You can't relate? Yeah, I get it now, man. I get it. I see what's going on with you now. Shit. Change the Book of Boba Fett to the pamphlet of Boba Fett. Nah, they need to change that shit to the audio, the audible of Boba Fett, because this shit taking a while. Just talk to me, nigga. Just talk to me, because there ain't no action happening. Yeah, Cena has been getting around lately. And I told you guys, in Fast 9? I liked his performance in Fast 9. I was like, damn, has he grown as an actor? Did I miss something? The fuck has gotten better. I'm actually buying this shit. That's why if you watch the Suicide movie, who was the standouts? King Shark, goofy ass? Okay, that's Groot. Bloodsport? Peacemaker. It was funny. His turn was fucked up. You didn't expect that. It's like, oh shit. But then seeing his turn and seeing him have remorse over his turn is a better character arc. Like, oh, he didn't actually want to do that shit. He just ain't all gung-ho for that shit. You watch this Peacemaker show, you see it's still having an effect on his ass. That maybe he ain't a villain. Maybe he actually thinks about the stuff he's doing, but he doesn't know how to do anything else. He was trained to do just this. If you watch the show, is the dude a white supremacist? No, they say he's a racist. I wouldn't call him a racist. He's just a fucking bigot. Because I think people get those words mixed up. You understand that racism implies that you have some power and control over people to put in policy to fuck with them? If you don't have any power to do anything to anybody else, you're just a fucking bigot. And that's fine. You can be a bigot all day. I'm a bigot. I don't like stupid people. I really don't. It don't matter what color they come in. I hate assholes of every color. Fuck all y'all. So I'm bigoted as fuck. Yeah, AB. I remember when he was in WWE. I was still watching it then. That was one of the times I came back because my daughter got into wanting to watch wrestling. So I started watching wrestling and got a feel for John Cena. I said, okay, wrestle, all right, cool, whatever. He knows how to do a promo, awesome. But you see this show, the motherfucker is acting. He's emoting. He's showing you internal conflict on his fucking face. Not because he body slammed somebody. Not because he gave him an F5, nigga. No. He's actually emoting, and you feel something for this fucking character. Like, damn, this nigga is torture. Your pops had you out there just like that in a room, just stabbing a motherfucker just all day. Your brother died. He didn't want you. He called you a useless cho to your fucking face, nigga. He don't want you. Ooh. And you still love him. I'm like, God damn, I'm feeling that, nigga. I'm feeling. Look, that shit was hitting a little bit too close to home. Like, ooh, them motherfuckers that don't like you, but you still got love for them because they family. Ooh, shit, this might not be just a white problem, huh? It ain't just me. Look, I was feeling that shit. Other thing I was feeling in this last episode of Peacemaker, episode 4, it was more stuff going on, and it was funny, and I was liking to actually fucking laugh. Because mind you, here's how I know this shit so clearly. I watched Book of Boba Fett, The Yarn of Boba Fett, and Peacemaker back to back, and I watched Book of Boba Fett first because that's the show I want to see, right? Yeah, he got Slave 1 back. Anyway, yeah, this is how he met Finnick. Any fucking way. Oh, I get to see the scooter gang again. Oh, that bike. Oh, that's somebody's mama. Ooh, it's Thundercat. Do I give a fuck? No. Somebody had to tell me who he was because I didn't give a fuck. Whatever, dude. Then I watched Peacemaker to see what was going on with these motherfuckers that got fucking tortured and got his toe cut off and shit. And the first 5 minutes of that shit after when the show started, even with the intro, that I'll say this. James Gunn has gotten over doing one thing for me that I actually love that he does. Do you realize in all his movies since Guardians, this motherfucker has a musical number in the beginning of it? Every Guardians movie has this musical intro that you love, right? This Peacemaker show got the same thing. I didn't know shit about no damn wigwam before this show. I got the fucking song now. I'll be singing the shit to myself now. It's like, oh my God, the mental conditioning works. The brainwashing works. That shit is fun. It gets you pumped up for the show. And the opening is fucking ridiculous. Motherfuckers is dancing to this shit. I'm like, you gotta dance and open it? The fuck is this? It lets you know what you're in for. That they're not taking themselves too seriously. They're having some fun with this shit. In the first 5 minutes of the shit, even after the opening, when I'm laughing at the opening, watching these motherfuckers' faces and shit, first 5 minutes of the shit had me laughing because it's just human interaction. I'm like, James Gunn, you motherfucker. Because it's fun. And that's what he brought to it. Because if you watch the Peacemaker opening, you got the neon, you got the dancing. Nigga, this ain't nothing but Guardians the last time you saw Guardians, right? Guardians 2, Guardians 1. Come and get your love. I was like, this motherfucker is a genius for bringing back songs that motherfuckers ain't heard of in over 20 years. And making you like the shit. He put together that Guardians of the Galaxy awesome mix number 1 and 2. This motherfucker, I'm impressed with this motherfucker's musical knowledge. He impressing me with that shit right there. The profanity and cussing and stuff like that, I can deal with profanity. But the stuff that's happening in the episode is actually entertaining to me. Like my most entertaining episode or most entertaining part of this episode. Well, there was a couple. But I'll say this. When Vigilante gets worked, right? Iota Day, or how the fuck they say that chick's name, she mouthpiece Vigilante about Peacemaker's daddy. Peacemaker's daddy is a bigot. Right? He ain't in charge of shit. He ain't making no political policies and nothing like that. He don't run nothing. He just got his fucking house that he talks shit in. He's a bigot. He's not a racist. He's a bigot. Right? So she mouthpieced the dude, Vigilante, and Vigilante figures out a way to get into the jail so he can get next to Peacemaker's daddy, because he gonna kill Peacemaker's daddy. And the way he does it is funny as shit to me, because he's trying to lift up this heavy ass can and he can't lift it, but he's doing it in full view of all these police officers having lunch. Like he did the shit on purpose. But he do all that shit and bust the window, and they're like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now they ain't say nothing when he was dragging the garbage can over there, but as soon as he bust the window, then, it's an issue. If he's black, as soon as he grabbed the garbage can, they would be like, the fuck you doing? Leave it there. Why are you moving that? Right? But they watched him. He busted his shit. He's like, yeah, take me to jail, motherfucker. You can't do nothing. But watch my toe, because I got a toe in. What the fuck? Now, whereas you've already learned that Peacemaker's daddy is White Dragon, which is a supervillain, and he can fight and kill and stuff like that. And he taught his son to kill from a young age, so these motherfuckers can kill. He's still an old dude. He old White Dragon, okay? He Gran Torino old dragon, okay? Right? I keep using that shit. Clint Eastwood gonna find me. He in California. But Vigilante gets in there, he gets in jail, and then he doing the walk down the hall and everybody talking about that motherfucker paying him no mind. That's an awesome fucking scene to me. Because this is the nerdiest looking fucking dude in the block walking the hall. Not, I don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm on a mission. He might as well be singing, walking with his excuse me, Mr. Rogers fucking vest on. With a little sweater on. Like, this is what this motherfucker look like he about to go do. Like, oh, he's going off the make-believe line. What the fuck? He get in there and start giving them up, sit down right at the white supremacist table and start giving them the business about their favorite black folks. I thought that shit was funny as fuck. I did. I really did think that was funny. I was like, what white boy even thinks about shit like this? Why would he give a fuck? I thought it was funny. I thought it was some funny shit, right? That ass smacking sounds of you fucking your sister, like, nigga, you'd have got killed that day. You said a lot. You lucky this is a TV show, because you would have got killed that day. But you think this dude is about to get his ass pounded, right? Because of how he looks. But then you have to remember, this is Vigilante. And you haven't really seen him do anything yet, except for he ain't got a problem with shooting fucking kids. They was aliens, so fuck them, right? And then he get into a fight and he start kicking these dudes' ass. It was like, oh shit! White boy came to play. You just never know about them nerds, right? And I think I told BGS this shit before. Like, we were watching Artie Idmore stream about the little cheaters dude. He pulled out a sword out his fucking back of his little his little geek mobile. I was like, and I had to tell him, I said, this is the thing you don't know about motherfuckers like that, dude. Once they get past a certain age, the motherfuckers learn. They learn. Anything you know about a geek past the age of fucking 20 who still look like a geek, he had been through it. He's been through it for decades, nigga. Decades. If he's still in his 20s up to his 30s, he might not be a pussy no more. He might still look like it, but he might not be anymore. You know why? Let's go back to the Fight Club analogy. Motherfuckers learn shit. One thing you know about a geek is that they learn. Geeks and nerds learn. They read a lot. They pay for shit. Nerds especially got disposable income because they actually got good jobs. Do you think he just got a good job in a blow up doll? No. In today's age where MMA is a thing, you don't think this motherfucker is in a class somewhere? And with his glasses and combed over hair, you start fucking with him too much, he'll break out some shit and have you tapping out trying to ground and pound, thinking this motherfucker is the next Hoist Gracie in this bitch. You never know. You never fucking know. You never know. And that's in this episode, that's a vigilante show. The motherfuckers was sizing them up the same way. Oh, this like it ain't nothing. Motherfucker got in there and started breaking their ass down. Broke one dude's arm. Now it's just a show, but it plays on the point. You never know who know what. You don't. If you ain't in the class with them, you never know who knows what. You can get your ass fucked up making some wrong ass assumptions just on how people look. Told you, everybody crazy. I say that from studying this shit. Everybody's fucking crazy. Just don't know where their trigger is. Don't know where they switch at. You don't know how close that switch is. So stop thinking, look, your nerd and your geek might have been a pushover in high school, elementary school. You run into their ass in the real world and up in their 20s or 30s, might not be that pushover anymore. It might be the motherfucker who was buying all them ninja items and shit like that and taking these martial arts classes so he didn't have to be bullied anymore. He was waiting for an opportunity to unleash that shit on the next motherfucker who try it. Because I can tell you, anybody who's been put in that position where they were weaker and the smaller kid for a time, they get out of that shit and they learn not to be the weaker kid anymore. They do. They might not be able to change their looks, but they got enough money to change everything else. Watch yourself. Don't get played like a dummy. Exactly, Malika. Never judge a book by its cover. And shout out to Sensei Silva. Every man has a weakness. It usually falls between his legs. Legs or his ears. So, I'm enjoying the Peacemaker show. Peacemaker is fun to me. It's fun to me. It's a fun show. I enjoy watching. I'm looking forward to watching episode 5. So I can see what the fuck is going on because they just threw some shit out there. I'm like, oh no. What? Okay, maybe he's working against half of his species. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay. I also want to see this little motherfucking judo master pop up again. Because they just popped that little motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, they killed him? I was starting to enjoy this little motherfucker because he was kicking John Cena's He was kicking John Cena's ass. That little motherfucker was getting them. They was having a good fight. And watching that shit, AB, I was thinking of John Cena having to fight Rey Mysterio or some shit. That's exactly what I thought of. Because he picked that little motherfucker up and slammed him into a car. The first thing I thought of was Kevin Nash and Rey Mysterio. When he fucking powerbombed that motherfucker to the side of a truck trailer. I'm like, damn. This ain't good, dude. This is not good. It made me remember my 2000s of watching wrestling in the late 2000s, or excuse me, late 90s, early 2000s. That shit was awesome. It was fun. So that's it. Enjoying that shit. What else we got? Enjoying Peacemaker. On the DC side for this Peacemaker, I wanted to transition into the DC stuff. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And it don't mean anything unless the Cash App ring. I think we still need 4 contributors. 1 second. I'm thinking about it. Nope. Oh, sure. We still need 4 more. 4 more to make the goal. Y'all got 2 whole reviews of 2 shows. And I ain't got 4 more reviews. Yeah, maybe you went to sleep already. It's only Monday. Y'all don't like Mondays anyway. Fuck over it. What is it? 7:03. Yeah, it's damn near 10 o'clock. Let me hurry up and finish this shit up so y'all can go to bed. So this is the follow that train on my boy Doughboy Art of Idmore. He mentioned this before I actually got to it, which I was actually pissed off. But it is what the fuck it is. It's news. I don't make this shit. I just read it. So the next one is about this whole DC to kill the Justice League stuff. Now I read this article earlier in the week and I sat on it. I'm not going to do a live stream right away to talk about it because I do a whole show on Sundays about geek stuff. So I save it for them. Unless it's just something really pressing that I need to jump on. At the time I read it, nobody was actually talking about it, so I figured it'll sit for a little while. But Art did his Art Geeks podcast on it about DC to kill off the Justice League, so I just want to go ahead and follow that cab and throw my 2 cents in on it and tell you what I see when I look at this shit. Now, I told you guys a couple months ago that when I started ordering more books for the shop again, I was looking at previews again finally. And looking in previews, I was seeing all these characters that they were bringing out and how DC was going to change that logo to a little rainbow flag and bring the rest of these characters out there. So all their LGBTQ plus apostrophe X characters they were going to have in one book. Now the funny part is you're jokingly calling it the Rainbow LA, right? Now with this news about what's going to happen in Justice League 75, kind of looking at this shit, these comics, 3 months in advance. But I don't want to throw the alarm up about everything right off the bat. Just it might not even be prescient for you guys at that time. I could tell you guys 3 months in advance this shit is going to happen, but what difference is it going to make? Yeah, it's not relevant to what's going on at the moment. Now, this shit, thank you to Art of Idmore for actually putting up the picture. But if you guys want to Google it, Justice League 75, and look at this picture, this splash page of these caskets out there where these people are all sitting there mourning the death of Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and all those dudes. I want you to take special notice of something. I want you to sit there and look at who is standing next to these caskets. Take a real close look at who's standing next to the caskets of these dead major heroes. Who's standing next to them? That is your Rainbow LA. Now, while this can be seen as a terrible thing, they're killing off the fucking Justice League, and what's going to happen now? They're not going to have the regular starters or whatever. When I saw this, I was like, yeah. You know why? Because I've seen it before. What do you think the first 52 was about? Not the new 52. The first 52. 1 year without the major characters. No Superman, no Batman, no Wonder Woman. For 1 year, 52 weeks. What do you think that was about? That was about highlighting the rest of these characters because DC does have a huge stable of fucking characters. Most of them are fucking B-listers outside of the majors on the Justice League. So how do you give them some shine without them all having their own fucking book that don't sell? Booster Gold has had his own book before. Don't fucking sell. Those new Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz and Simon Biles, yeah, they was in some shit, but it don't sell just with them in it. Clark's son, who came out on the fence, is it selling? I'm actually buying and selling these books, I can tell you. Aqualad? You think he could carry his own fucking book? Not unless Aquaman was dead. Then you'd have to buy it because there's no Aquaman. That's all this is. Don't you see that shit? It's new. It's not new 52. It's 52 all over again. Remove the majors and bring up the B team. I got to do this so you can see it. Bring up the B team so they can get some shine. Because that's the only fucking way you would give a fuck about all these rainbow characters. They gonna give it to you because nobody wants it. They gonna make sure to give it to you. Why? Because Jim Lee is trying to keep that book selling. You know, the editor-in-chief of DC, Jim Lee, Asian American. He didn't get into DC to lose money. He got into DC to try to keep that motherfucker afloat. So that's why you got the new 52. That's why you got Rebirth. That's why you got some of this, what Ari Moore calls it, the 5G, future state. If you've been reading comics as an adult for a while, you will see this is all 90s tactics to sell books. You get that, right? How do you think Batman is leaving and going away? Because nobody will accept anybody else being Batman if Bruce Wayne is still there. That's why they keep having to remove him. Nobody is going to accept all these second-tier heroes like, I don't know, Superman, Jonathan Kent, when Clark is right there. You don't have to accept him. You're just his son. Fuck you. But you will buy that shit if Clark ain't there, won't you? Because you still need your Superman fix. With a penis hanging out his ass or not. That's all it is. Forced diversity. Now, if you've been reading comics for a while, you understand how this shit works. Comics always are fighting to stay relevant and keep selling books. It don't work if you don't buy the shit, right? So they keep having to come up with ways to get you to buy the book. Even if you're outraged, you'll buy the book because you got to see what the fuck they did. Now, I understand this now a little bit better because I actually own a shop now. And I have to sell these comics. And since the whole business is about selling fucking comic books, I still have to put that shit on the shelf because it ain't about my personal fucking taste. Because if I have 10 people who sign up for this book, I said, no, it's 5, but you can't see all my hands on the screen. If I have 10 people that buy this book and 3 of them drop off because they don't want to see the Rainbow LA, do I stop serving the other 7? No. I still have to serve the other 7 customers who do want to buy it. So it's not personal now for me. I cannot like it all goddamn day. I can choose personally not to buy it, but I actually run a goddamn business selling this shit. So if there's still 7 people coming in to buy it, I will be buying the book and putting it on the shelf for them because I serve the customer, no matter how little they are. Comic books always fight to stay relevant and keep you interested enough to buy them. That's the whole point of a miniseries. That's the whole point of summer crossovers. That's the whole point of big splash covers, wraparound, gatefold, special edition, limited card stock, fucking die-cast covers. That's the whole point, to get you to buy the fucking book, even if you fucking hate it. That goddamn Superman book where he kissing a dude, that motherfucker will be a collector's item and worth money. Have I read it? No. But if I'm a collector, do I have it? Why? Because it's the first fucking time you ever seen it. So I'm not of the myopic view on this shit where it's just stuff that I buy and that's just it. No, it's not. I have to think of it in more than one way now, because I have to run a business off of this shit and maybe read some of it that I choose to. Will I choose to read that? Well, I'll have to, won't I? Because I talk about comic books eventually. And I run a store. So I'll have to read it. So if somebody asks me about it, I can tell them what the fuck is going on in it. Just like watching a shitty movie, Dark Phoenix, Matrix Resurrections. I'll have to watch it just to tell you motherfuckers what's going on in it. Because you have the benefit of not having to read it. Or not reading them at all. That's all it is. It's another ploy. How long will this shit last? This is something we joke about in the shop anytime they do one of these questionable things in comics. How long will it last? A year and a day. That's how long. Because the turnaround on seeing what the numbers did only takes 3 months. You got your initial order cycle. How many people are actually ordering that book? How heavy is the demand for it? That's your first one. Then you print that shit and see how many actually fucking sell. Because comic book stores have something they could do. If the shit's not selling, they could send it back to the goddamn publisher. Like, this is not selling. I want my fucking money back. They can do that. You realize not a lot of those books have to be sitting in back issue bins. They don't. They can send that shit back. Rip the cover off and send it back. We losing money on this bitch. Take this back. I don't want it. Takes 3 months. That's why you order 3 months in advance. So if the numbers come out 3 months in advance of what that book is ordering, and comic shops are not really ordering it, they'll order heavy for the first one. Look at the sales on that one when it comes out. Lighter on the second one. If the sales are still falling off, lighter on the third one. So I went from 10 to 7 to 5, nigga. I'm not ordering more of that shit. Nobody is buying it. It takes 3 months. But for a comic book company, they want to run that shit for a year because they've already planned it out for the year. They've planned out their fucking story arc. So they got to run it for a year, even if it's shit, even if it's not selling. What was that last bullshit that I read from DC that I fucking hated, Conflux or whatever the fuck it was? That garbage in the pages of books. Ran that shit for a whole fucking year, and it was trash. Still had to run it. Money's been paid, art's been made, pages have been inked, prints are still running. They'll just stop it after that. So if you don't like it now, wait a year. It'll go away. Just like the good shit that you like. It'll go away and it won't be there, hopefully. So if you don't own a comic shop, yeah, it's to your benefit not to buy that shit. Don't. Let them see, because if you listen to people like who are in the business, like John Romita, and his famous quote for why Spider-Man and Mary Jane broken up and everybody wants to say it was his fault. He said, no, you voted for it. You, the fans, voted for that shit by your sales. That's how they determine what the fan base wants, on sales. They ain't going out and talking to all you motherfuckers, regardless of what Twitter says. It's not even a real place. They look at the sales numbers, and if the sales fall the fuck off, why did World of Wakanda die? If everybody's trying to be diverse, why did it die? Why did that book die? Why did they pull it? And they punched out before they hit the basement. And they're going to give it another chance in this Black Panther movie. Because some motherfuckers just don't get it. That's all it is. It's a publicity stunt. Can't kill Superman again. Well, technically, they are killing Superman again. And Batman again, because he was dead, what, 5 years ago Batman was dead? And like, oh, no, he was just lost in the time stream. Nah, that nigga was dead, as far as I remember. But okay, fine, whatever. It's comic books. You can bring him back. And he came back. Period. Exactly, AB. Why did Jason Todd die? This is all stuff that you would know. If you read comics and you know comic book history, why did Jason Todd die? The fans voted for it. And when did he come back? When they voted for his ass to come back. Simple shit. Money, nigga. Just like this stream, like I said. It runs on green, just like every other thing. And if you don't like the Rainbow LA, don't buy it when they put it in your face and say, this is what we got. Say, I don't want that shit. Get the fuck out of here. But I'll tell you this. If they write a compelling story with these B-list characters, the shit'll hang around. There is no way on God's green earth for you to believe that DC is going to kill off permanently its marquee characters that they make money off of. Booster Gold ain't getting no goddamn movie. Aqualad is not getting a goddamn movie. Just in promotional material. Next movie coming out the gate is what? Aquaman 2? The Batman? You're going to have something on them shelves to sell them related to that shit. I'm just saying. That's how it works. Do you know for like 6 months before, not even 6 months, 2 months before they announced Brie Larson as Captain Marvel was already looking like Brie Larson? They start changing the character to get in line with catching sales from this shit that's coming out. Thank you. Final Crisis, Battle for the Cow. Yeah. It's always about selling these books. They got to sell it some kind of way. They got to get something to get you fucking interested. And they got to figure out what it is that you fucking want. Only way they can gauge that shit is by sales numbers. How many of these books are selling? Now, this is where the sales numbers get fucked up. And why I hate speculators. Because some dickhead who doesn't even read the books goes out and buys 5 copies of this shit because it'll be worth some money one day. You drive up the sales on that piece of shit. And they take that inflated number as, oh, people really want this. Print some more, print some more. No. It's just shit. Perfect example, recent history. Remember that, what is it, Brian Azzarello run of Batman? That sold ridiculous because somebody saw the shadow of the bat penis? Remember that shit? Remember how hard it was to find that book? Until they pulled all the copies and reprinted it? Okay. What did issue number 2 do? What did issue number 2 do? Nothing near them goddamn numbers. Same art, same writer, same story. What did issue number 2 do? That first one went to, I think, 3 printings. Even with the penis took it out. That next one, poof, hit the basement. Back to normal sales numbers. Why did it sell so high? Why did the first one sell so high? Speculators, not collectors. You know why? Because collectors hold on to shit. Speculators throw it on Amazon and resell it for a higher price. You having any luck finding the PS5? Thank you, goddamn speculators. They're the ones that made it hard to find. They bought up all of them and tried to sell them at a profit, ridiculous profit, and fucked up your availability for buying them. So if you ain't got a letter from Sony, an email from Sony saying, hey, we want to sell you a PS5 directly, you wouldn't understand why. That's why. Kareem Val Kilmer should have been John Paul Valley. I'd have watched. He's kind of fat now, but I'd have watched the hell out of that. I'd have watched the hell out of Val Kilmer, Azrael. I'd have watched the hell out of that because I like Val Kilmer and I like Azrael. They could have did the Battle of Cal in the movies if they had removed that goddamn way and get off of fucking Batman's cape and let somebody else get some shine for a change. Fucking hell, dude. Nightwing should have been had a goddamn movie. Christopher Nolan left it right there for your ass. You could have picked that shit up and turned it into whatever the fuck you wanted to, but gave me a Nightwing movie. With Jason Gordon-Levitt, I would have took that shit. Fucking missed opportunities. So that's what's going on with the DC killing the JLA. To me, from my vision and my knowledge, that's what's going on with it. It's a sales ploy. Jim Lee is trying to sell comics, and he's trying to capture this audience that he's believing is there. And that's why he's doing everything he can to do it. That's why you see him doing this. That's why you see him pushing Milestone Comics. That's why you see him pushing all the rest of this diversity all over the place. He is the editor-in-chief. He makes those decisions. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Because you have to remember how Warner Brothers is structured. Everybody operates like their own fucking satellite. Yeah, the parent company may be Warner Brothers, but half the time, I don't know what the fuck them people doing over there. That's why Warner Films didn't put out the Snyder Cut, but HBO Max did. AT&T is out of there. Told y'all that shit months ago. AT&T is selling them. They're being bought by Discovery. So while they're going through all that buying shit, these motherfuckers is like the Wild West. They get to do whatever the fuck they want to. And understand that these companies operate, none of these are quick decision plans. They put this shit in motion months and years ago. It's going that direction. That's what they're fucking doing. It's not an immediate thing. Working corporate, I can tell you, they don't turn this motherfucker on a dime. It takes months. Year? 6? It'll change if they're a good company. A company in disarray that's being sold off, motherfuckers getting to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Any project they had on the slate is coming. Because they'll just keep on with regular business because they plan for the long, hopefully. And what they think long term is the audience that they want is the Rainbow Coalition. That's going to be their new audience because that's where the younger millennial kids are. They all about this fluidness. They all about that, no gender roles and none of that other stuff. They really like this. So we have to give them their representation. Two niggas are still in the back. Remember that. Anyway, that's my take on the DC shit. That's it. Now, the last part I'll end on, just to get y'all pumped up and take y'all asses to bed, is some of the Star Wars stuff with KK. My favorite bitch not the one to talk about. My favorite one. Now, the most egregious stuff I heard recently is what I would call a PR campaign. And it's seeming like what I said was true. All-Star G's like, hey, don't put that on us, man. That's Gen Z. Okay, I'll say that. If y'all can tell me where what's his name, dude who was um chair dancing on the devil, who was that? That Lil Nas X? Is that who it was? Okay, if you can tell me if he's a Z or a millennial, then that group can catch the blame. I don't think he's a Gen Z, but I could be wrong because I don't listen to his ass. I'm hoping he'll go away. But somebody made him famous, and it wasn't because I gave him $1, not a buck. Shit, I just recently heard Old Town Road, and I said, oh, that was the song? Oh, okay. Anyway. So, look. KK, my favorite bitch of Star Wars. Seems like what I'm saying is right. He's a Gen Z all-star. Then the Z's have it. There's an L. Y'all can take that. Stage left. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Let me round this out. More distractions. All right. So KK. One of the most egregious things I've heard recently was about KK and what she's doing over at Lucas. Now, mind you, told you guys last week how she kind of kicked George off of the Acolyte. She's going to do her own thing, and she's going to rewrite this bitch again, and hopefully it will probably come out sometime next Neverwary. Whenever the fuck, right? Now, since I told you guys, since she's got her contract re-signed, she's been making a lot of really aggressive, quick moves. A lot of really aggressive, quick moves. Mind you, this is only like almost a year later from her firing Gina Carano, right? She's supposed to be out of there last year. She's supposed to be done. But because this is the last show she's working on and so many holdups and rewrites and all this bullshit with this show, she's still here. She waited it out and got her contract re-signed because she still got one project that ain't done. And so now that she got her contract re-signed, she going in. This is what the fuck is happening. It was a ploy. She played it out, and she's going the fuck in. Now, one of the ways she's going in is negotiating or trying to negotiate or engage in a PR campaign. And I call this a PR campaign for one of two things. And it's telling. It's fucking telling. You remember last year, I was telling you guys this bitch was supposed to be leaving, and I will call her a bitch not affectionately. I call her a bitch with derision because she's doing some fucked up shit. So it is what it is. Suck it. But I told you she was going to leave, and she was going to start her own production company, and it was going to be Starlight Productions and all this other bullshit, right? Remember that bullshit? Okay. So what's this bitch talking about now, a year later? Well, when I leave here, the fan base is all fucked up. I couldn't get another job. Wait a minute. I thought you were going to be good, Ms. Marshall. I thought you was going to start your own production company. What happened to the production company? Was you big capping like Mojo Jojo? Were you big capping? I think you're big capping. So because she's trying to put it out there and put the sensitive vibes out there to the people that she'd have a hard time finding another job and all the rest of this shit, she does not want to take any of the blame for the fan base being split. What she chooses to do instead is say that it's Gina Carano's fault that the fan base of Star Wars is split. I wish I could actually sit at a computer to do my gifts right now. But the one that comes to mind is Samuel L. Jackson. Fuck you. Or bullshit. That's another one. That's another good one. That's her thing. One of her things is blaming Gina Carano for the split. Yeah, Tyrone, that's some funny shit, ain't it? That's like the most ridiculous shit. It was not my fault. It's her fault. She turned them all against me. Bitch, please. in the Dr. Dre voice, in the Exhibit voice. Bitch, please. Trying to do this a year later is a sympathy ploy. It's a PR campaign to try to revive her image like Brittany Renner, to try to prove that she ain't the hoe she was, or in at least KK's sense, the bitch she was. That she wasn't doing some shit because she is feeling her ovaries up around her fucking throat and just, I can just get rid of this bitch and that'll just be it. She's not on board. She can get the fuck off this speeder. Didn't think it was going to have the blowback it had, did it? You didn't like that big muscly white chick, did you? That should be one of your fucking sisters. Empowered, strong female. She can throw hands. She know how to do Muay Thai. She ain't even fucking 40 yet. Damn, that should be a lock for the feminists, right? She put her arm up. She looked just like that damn picture of Rosie the Riveter, don't she? No, you don't like that bitch because she didn't want to listen to you. Didn't want to listen to you. Didn't like you. You didn't like her politics. Who gives a fuck? As far as I know, in a galaxy far, far away, the only politics is you either the rebel or the empire. That's the only politics that should matter in the show. Your personal shit is your personal shit. I don't gotta like it. But we ain't putting that on screen anyway. So what does it matter? And to AB's point, yes. Yes, bitch, nobody likes you anyway. You want to know why the fan base fucking split? Last Jedi, bitch. If you need a fucking clue, phone a friend, not Rian Johnson. Last Jedi. That's why the fan base split. You know what made it worse? Outside of Rise of Skywalker? Besides that, not that shit. Beyond that, you know what made it worse? Firing one of your principal actors off a hit show that people liked because you didn't like her fucking Twitter post. That split the fan base. And the only fan base you're talking about is these new pseudo fans that you speak to, that you're trying to make. Like you just create fans out of the fucking ether. You sound like the dumbest bitch in the world. Did KK just turn into a fucking Karen right in front of our eyes? It's not me, it's her. Is that what the fuck I'm hearing? She's speaking Karenese? She blaming Gina for the shit? How did Gina cause a split in the fan base? Because you fired her? And she came out and said what the fuck you was doing behind the scenes? Bitch, everybody was doing that shit. Ask Daisy Ridley. Ask George. Ask Adam Driver. Ask John Boyega. Everybody knows. You split the fan base. Own that shit. Take 2 L's and be LLKK. Get the fuck out of here. That sounds like the most asinine shit I can think of. It sounds like a little fucking kid blaming a brother that wasn't there for what happened. It wasn't me, it was him. Man, we not playing Clue. Get the fuck out of here. Now, the other thing that came out, and this still goes to, this will just make you fucking laugh on this shit. And this will also lead into why Marvel is having their scheduling shift. Why my theory is that they're having a scheduling shift. And you guys know I don't be trying to get into fucking theory crafting, but it seems plausible, so I'll just throw it out there. Yeah, Mark Hamill. Yeah, ass beastly nerd. Disney had to talk to him to get him to shut the fuck up. Yeah. And he got brought back. So look, the other thing that comes down to this whole thing, if you remember last year, When they fired Gina Carano, what were they saying? Wasn't a fit, the politics stuff or whatever, right? Because mind you, I told you guys, you knew it was some bitch shit because they did it over social media and nobody would take responsibility for it, even though you know who the CEO of Lucasfilms is. You know where it had to come from. She would not take any responsibility for it at all. Oh, it was the board. No, bitch, it was you. It was you. And everybody knew it. That's why people still hating your motherfucking guts to this day. That's why. Everybody knew. That's why they were calling for your fucking head. And Chapig was taking so many goddamn hits over this shit. He had to start acting like he had a pair of balls. Like, look, Kathleen, you're gonna have to go. You fucking this whole thing up. I got the mouse over here. He took off his glove. You know what happened when the pimp take off the glove? It's all discipline hand. No, I can't do that. I'm not about to lose my job over you. Oh, fuck no. Disney is big. Lucas is small. You can go. We need to get you. You need to finish that acolyte and clean out your desk. That's what was happening. So when they got rid of Gina Carano and didn't think there was going to be no blowback over it because they was appeasing their little rabid base of fucking Minox, like that Star Wars reference, right? What were they doing when they found out that John and Dave was behind the scenes trying to get her back and talking to the board and shit? Oh no, we want to recast her. Recast her? Who's gonna buy that shit? Because they wanted to use the character. That's why they got rid of all her fucking toys and shit. Took her off the promo art and stuff. In advance. They wanted somebody else. Well, guess what came bubbling to the surface again this year? Fucking trolls, dude. Oh my God. What came bubbling to the surface this year? Now, you know Gina Carano, good with Disney, she coming back on The Mandalorian. Season 4, she back. And then John is writing her some different shit to do later on. So Gina's coming back. So what popped up again now that you know Gina's coming back? Kathleen Kennedy got a new contract. What is she pushing for? To recast Cara Dune. And trying to convince the Disney board to do it. Well, I thought the Disney board was on board with firing her ass. That it wasn't you, it was all them, right? So why the fuck a year later would you still start talking the same shit of recasting Cara Dune? Sounds like your personal grudge. Now here's the part that'll make you motherfuckers laugh, and I can end this on laughing at this shit because it'll be funny as fuck to you. Who is Kathleen Kennedy's pick to replace Gina Carano as Cara Dune? I want to see what y'all throw in the chat. There's enough of you in here. I want to see what y'all throw in the chat. I'm curious, my nigga. Because when I say this shit, y'all gonna laugh as hard as I was laughing. And it ain't really no slight to this actress, but get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. AB just say Lord. That's not a pick, AB. You got to throw a name in the hat, man. Look. Think about who is calling for this shit. What type of bullshit she on. And what kind of actresses she does approve of. See if you come up with it. I'm curious. Not Sandra Bullock. Nah, Brie Larson. Brie Larson's already on the Acolyte show. Oh, I'll get to that bitch. Don't worry about it. I got plenty on my plate for that motherfucker right there. Why are you giving me this old YouTube shit? So here's the thing. KK wants to recast Cara Dune. Beastly Nerd, that might not be far off. I don't know for sure. Might as well be. She's. I will say this to Beastly Nerd's comment, somebody who's a lesbian. I think KK got tendencies, married or not. I think she got some tendencies because everybody that she thinks is a great actress falls into the same look. And when I say this fucking name, you'll see it. Right? She wants to recast Cara Dune. And the person she wants to recast Cara Dune, being Gina Carano, the person she wants to recast her with is Julia Stiles. Let that sink in for a minute. Julia Stiles. What does that even mean? Like, nigga, what? Bitch, is you for real? Am I Dolomite? I need that clip. Bitch, is you for real? We are talking fantasy, aren't we? Julia Stiles, who I just watched in the Bourne movies because I've been watching the Bourne movies for the last 2 weeks. Save the Last Dance or whatever the fucker that movie was. What? Yeah, but like, what all the fuck? Julia Stiles. A skinny, blonde-haired chick, blonde-haired white chick with no body. Kind of sounds like Brie Larson, doesn't it? Kind of looked like that bitch I told y'all was out in front and all that promotional High Republic art shit, doesn't it? Same model, huh? Damn, this bitch got an Aryan fixation. She like these thin, unfeminine looking blonde women, don't she? Interesting. I think somebody got some proclivities. Because I don't know about y'all, where you from, but out here in California, we understand motherfuckers be having these fake marriages. That both of them be sweet and married and hiding it. If you're familiar with the term of being somebody's beard or some shit like that. Yeah, she too skinny, AB. Now, to AB's point, just to highlight that for a minute. AB, why don't you tell the audience why the fuck Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni picked Gina Carano out of every female in Hollywood to play the role of Cara Dune? Yeah, Beast in the Nerd, basic bitch. Closet feminist or lesbian, or probably not even a closet feminist. Out the closet feminist, closet lesbian. And I don't say that's Julia Stiles, but that's what she fucking looks like. I don't know her personal life, and I don't really care. Well, AB ain't answered. I know there's a delay. She ain't got no casting couch. She got a casting pole. You know what's up. Remember, they think that's exercise now to be playing on a pole. I'll tell you, AB, because you're taking a minute. The reason why Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni picked Gina Carano out of every other woman in Hollywood to play Cara Dune is because the role was made for her. They made the part, the role for her. Cara Dune was modeled on Gina Carano. That's why John and Dave only wanted Gina Carano for this shit. That's why when they fired, well, not they, when KK fired Gina Carano from Star Wars and wanted to recast Cara Dune in that Rangers of the New Republic show, Jon Favreau didn't go for it. He scrapped the whole show and said no. Cara Dune is Gina Carano, and Gina Carano is Cara Dune. The character was made for her, so it's inseparable from her. I'll just give you another show. Because I ain't recasted it. Same shit a year later. And what do you have now with Julia Stiles jumping up there? You know why they can't do it? Because the bitch want more money. What? Julia Stiles is giving them grief because she wants more money from Disney if they want to try to cast her in that shit. She don't want to be Cara Dune. She want more money for the role. I'm like, who the fuck is Julia Stiles? Really? Bitch, you a supporting actress. You ain't been in the front of nothing except for that Save the Last Dance shit that I've seen. The fuck out of here. Another entitled basic chick coming into the Star Wars universe to promote some propaganda. Along with the other one, Brie Larson. So that made me laugh when I heard it. Because I was thinking it was going to be somebody serious, right? I was like, well, who? I was like, replace Gina Carano. She's coming back. Why would you replace her now? Recast her now. She's coming back. Oh, it's KK pushing it. Okay, that makes sense. She don't like Gina. Okay, fuck her. Who? Who would you do? Ronda Rousey or something like that? What? Cyborg? What? Who? Julia Stiles? Nigga, what? The fuck out of here. This bitch must be smoking crack. She must be smoking the crack. The fuck out of here. Another Mary Sue. Exactly, AB. Another Mary Sue. Who the fuck is buying Julia Stiles as Cara Dune after you've had Gina Carano? I don't see Julia Stiles doing fights in no movies. None. She ain't even physical like that. So why even want to take the character? Because I told you, motherfucker, she know what that character did. Cara Dune, as a character, was more inspirational for young girls, young white girls, whatever the fuck you want to say, than Rey ever was. And was more accepted. Because in some senses, she wasn't a Mary fucking Sue, was she? She ain't even blonde. Basic bitch 101. The fuck out of here. Shout out to G Middleton for the cash app. Fuck you. It's funny as shit. When you want it to be sensitive, it's not. When you don't want it to be sensitive, the screen is sensitive as fuck. Fuck. Thank you, G Middleton. Appreciate the cash app. I will give you that 3B salute. And I'll get into this next part and close it out because we're about 4 hours in. And just for G Middleton's point, he's glad that Gina's coming back. Yeah, I'm glad Gina coming back too. Because I told y'all before, Gina was my pick for Wonder Woman. I kind of like Gina. Gina cool with me. And she know Muay Thai. You can throw me in a hole, I'm fucking good with that. Ain't skinny no more? Oh, shit. So you can take a roll. And she younger than me. Like, god damn, she ain't even 40? I'm gonna get it. She got a boyfriend now. Whatever. I would say chicks cheat, but she looked like she'd be loyal. Okay, so G Middleton, appreciate you. I will give you that 3B salute. 3 away from the goal. Will we make the goal? Yeah, Jenna can act and fight. She can. I'm looking to watch. I put it on my list that Daughter of the Wolf. I'm gonna watch Daughter of the Wolf this week because I want to see about that. That's her just by herself. I saw Haywire way back when. My boy Sam told me about it, and I watched it. I liked her. She was cool. She can fight. I like a chick with nice strong legs, and a chick that can fight. I don't know if that's a turn on for me or not. I do know I like that shit. She was younger. She wasn't hard on her eyes. Like, she still got her femininity. She can brawl and she a girly girl. Shit, you can wear your high heels. Good with that all day long. All right, so here comes to the next piece in basic bitch 101. Now, how this KK stuff spins into me talking about Marvel and the pushback of their schedule was very simple. Now, if you heard, Marvel pushed back a bunch of movies on their schedule. Now, what do we have here? What is it? They said Marvel's got pushed back and What If got pushed back. Now, for me, there is one reason and one reason only how this Star Wars and this Marvel stuff ties together and why Marvel's and What If got pushed back. And that one reason is Brie Larson. Now, if you know what's going on with Brie Larson in Star Wars, she's having an issue in Star Wars because her role has gotten cut back in the Acolyte show. Now, that was before Kathleen Kennedy had her new contract. Now that she has her new contract and she's going in to rewrite the show again, she might be doing that to make Brie Larson happy. Because understand that if Kathleen Kennedy wants you, it's probably not somebody that's going to be pro men and no shit like that. That she's probably part and parcel of that same fame group, that same mindset. She don't want nobody other than that. That's why Leslie Hedlund is there. That's why Brie Larson's ass is there. That's why KK is there. And that's why she probably want to bring on Julia Stiles. She's probably still on that same bullshit. Okay? Now, because her role got cut back in Acolyte, and now it's an ensemble, and she don't like that shit, Brie Larson was having an issue. It was making some waves. And I told you guys that she ain't necessarily loved in Marvel either. Kevin Feige might want to smash or something like that. I don't know. But she ain't really loved over there. The rest of the Marvel actors don't really like that bitch. She don't. Look no further than Jeremy Renner and Chris Hemsworth and Don Cheadle sitting up there trying to promote Endgame with her goofy ass up there, and they're like, they can't stand that bitch. Okay. Now, I told you the reason why Captain Marvel 2 got changed to Marvels, because I'm thinking she causing too many problems for Disney, and Disney wants her ass out of there. That's why you ain't heard too much from her lately. Haven't. She got her own YouTube show. You ain't heard about that either, have you? You ain't heard that she went to film and none of that shit, right? Well, I told you, for me, that's why they changed the name from Captain Marvel to Marvels for that movie. Why? Because Brie Larson is not a selling point for them right now. She's not. Would you go see a movie with Brie Larson in it if it said her name at the top of the banner? Not Marvel, not Star Wars, just a regular fucking movie. Would you go see it? Would you watch a TV show that had Brie Larson starring in the main role in that show? I think not. She's not bankable right now. She's taking a hit because she said too many goofy things. And I don't know who got her duct taped over her mouth to a chair somewhere, but you ain't seen her anywhere on social media saying shit. I think that's Disney telling her to shut the fuck up. You'll cash your last check and you'll be out of here with KK. Banana peel. To me, that's why the name for Captain Marvel 2 was changed to Marvel. It ain't about that bitch. You got Kamala Khan, first appearance. You got Monica Rambeau, second appearance with power showing up in there. You got scrolls and shit showing up in there. Brie Larson is fucking filler. She ain't the cherry on top. She fucking filler. This movie is about everybody else but her ass. And if they want to do me a solid, I've already said this before, and I've heard other geeks say it. Kevin Feige, if you want to sell that Captain Marvel 2, Marvel's movie to me, and you want to do a solid for the fan base, introduce the first X-Men as being Rogue into Captain Marvel 2 and let her put that touch on Brie Larson's Carol Danvers. And we'll be good. We'll be good. You can leave her in a coma until you figure out how to recast her and redo that Carol Danvers character. You can leave her in the coma till then. Nobody will be upset. Trust me. The fan base will clap. We will slow clap on the green for you. That's why I think the Marvel slate got pushed back. Because Marvel's is her movie, right? Marvel's is her movie. Why else would you push it back? Everybody else did. What, Tiana Parrish busy? Is that it? Why did What If 2 get pushed back when you already heard they was already working on What If 2 when What If number 1 came out? Why would they stop? What would hold them up? Voice acting would hold them up, wouldn't it? If you couldn't get the actress who played a role to bring her monkey ass in there and record her parts for that season, that would hold it up, wouldn't it? Because you already know that Captain Marvel from What If is on their little multiversal Avengers team, isn't she? And you know all the stars that played these characters in the cinematic movies do the voices of them in the animated stuff, right? So what would hold up What If number 2, season 2? And Marvels. That's an interesting fucking question. Unless you see the one fly in the ointment that connects Star Wars Acolyte, What If Season 2, and the Marvels movie all together. Brie motherfucking No Booty Larson. Now, that's just my theory. That's just my theory from looking at what's out there. From, in a BGS sense, looking at the damn breadcrumbs. So that's me looking at my geek breadcrumbs. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. I could be wrong. But you know what's the good part about that shit? I can also be right, motherfucker. And I don't say that with any glee. I'm just saying. I know one thing in life is this. I can be right about the wrong shit you want to be right about. And somebody doing some fucked up shit, I'm usually 100% right on. I think she making static for Disney, and she don't want to play ball. And they having a lot of static with her behind the scenes. Not just in Star Wars, but in Marvels. And static with her is holding up the Marvels movie and the What If Season 2. And if I had to guess, I'd say it's about money and contracts. I'd say it was about that. That they got some money matters going on with her behind the scenes because Scarlett got paid. So she probably pissy and want more money. And they negotiating. Because you heard shit out of her last from that Star Wars Acolyte shit. The last thing you heard was her and KK getting into it. You ain't heard shit since then. You'd think she was just going along being a happy camper. No, the fuck she ain't. She ain't a happy person. Fuck no. So that is my spiel. That is my theory. Take it out and circulate it. Do your own research. Maybe it bears fruit. Maybe it didn't. What in the fuck? but time will tell. And if I'm right, you ain't gotta suck my dick. I'll just smile and like, I'm not gonna rub it in your face. I'm just gonna be like, oh, we saw this, didn't we? With that, not my piece de resistance, but the finale of the show. I want to say thank you to everybody who donated in the chat. We did not, but I did a later show. It is what it is. So I appreciate you guys for hanging in there late anyway and watching the show. Yeah, motherfucker, is me. God damn, this thing is so fucking stupid. Yeah, that was me. Security alerts. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's about 8:23 by my clock, which means it's probably 11 something where you guys are. Like I said, I appreciate you guys hanging in with me this long on a late show. Like I said, I always want to give you guys a show here. Usually it'll be on time. I'm not on call next weekend, so it will be on time. Um, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I have been Artisan MC. It's 4 hours for the stream. Maybe I'll take it down and add my music and shit at the end because I put a lot of effort into that shit and it's not there. So that pisses me off. But thank you guys for coming through. I'm Artisan MC. I do this every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We talk geekdom and everything in between. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Have a good night, and I will see you next time. Peace.